All right, everybody. Well, I've got some awesome news. Got my Twitter back. So we are very excited. We are going live on Twitter as well, and I'm back to be in Fun Football Podcast. My name is Izac. We've got a very, very unique show for everybody here. We are going to pivot a little. We're going to still do football because it's a football podcast, but we are going to, I'm very excited. We are going to talk some hockey because we've got a hockey guy coming on, and some boxing, and then we're going to hit the Super Bowl. So I'm going to do it in a little bit like reverse style, but I'm very excited. Also got Nick from Roll. Nick, let's start with you, man. How are you doing after that Hornets epic victory? I read all about that today. That was a game,
Bro,
man. How you
I
doing?
streamed it and it was tough. The last like 2 minutes, I was like, oh no, we're gonna blow it. I was literally on stream and I'm like, please God, please just give this to me. 41 seconds left. I was hoping Cooper Flag couldn't hit a three. He didn't, thankfully. So we came out with the win. But yeah, it was heart palpitations through that fourth. It was crazy. I didn't expect it to be as tight as it was.
Very cool. And Ryan, yeah, that was a game. Ryan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Honestly, really good, man. I'm excited to talk some hockey. It's one of my favorite. It's honestly might be my favorite sport to go see in person. I absolutely love it. Caught a few Stars games. When the Coyotes were in Phoenix, I used to go to their games all the time. That was one of my first playoff games I've ever been to in any sport, and the atmosphere was pretty electric. So, but before we keep going,
Which
Ryan,
series did you go to? Was that the
oh,
against the Kings?
oh my gosh, actually, yes, one of them was against the Kings. It was in like I can't remember the year. I think it was like
2011,
around.
I think.
It was 2011. That's a good call. I
Yep.
was thinking 2010 or 2011. I've been
Yeah.
to some games. My favorite one was when I was bottom row. So I was that was so cool. I was on not the goalie. I was near the goalie, but I was on the longer side, and getting to see the checks in person for a whole game was pretty sweet. I've seen a few like third row. I actually like sitting up top so I can see everything. But I've probably been to like over 30 hockey games, probably more than anything but baseball. Surprisingly, always loved it in like it's such a fun sport to watch in person. I feel
Absolutely.
like some of it's lost on TV. Ryan, I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how it's broadcasted too. It depends who the broadcast team is. Sometimes they talk about things, that are irrelevant to hockey, and then you kind of it gets lost in translation. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it can still be great in person or on TV, but I just have always gotten a little bit. I've always just gotten a little bit more out of it, you know. But I think it just depends on how you feel about each sport. But
plus
can
hockey
you?
fans are just way more attractive, like in the entire environment. Depending on what uniform they wear, but particularly Avs fans, they look really good in their uniforms. Just saying.
You can't you're muted. There you go.
There we go. Is it working?
Yep.
Mike just does that. It's a gaming mic. Anyways,
Oh,
so before we keep going, Ryan, I got some questions for you, but I don't want to like just drill the questions. I'm not that kind of person, but I do want before we really get into the show, can you tell everybody about your background a little bit? Like, so how long have you been working for Hockey News?
so I've been working with Hockey News since October. So I was with Mile High Hockey. I'm still technically with Mile High Hockey. I still help them out. But I've been with them for about 2 years,
Okay.
and I've been covering boxing since 2013, which I don't do as much because boxing is just a joke now. But I still work for fights around the world. So I just covered
Oh, I didn't know
the
that
ring,
one.
yeah, the Raymond Murataya fight with God, who is he even fighting? Oh, it was Murataya. Who did he fight just 2 days ago? Man, I'm losing my mind. Oh, Andy Cruz for
Very
the IBF
nice.
title. Yeah,
Very nice.
I'm getting old now.
I mean, it happens, man. Sometimes I'm like, I'll be talking even football, and I'm like, wait, when like the hockey thing, it's like what year? So that's awesome, man. Very cool. And then so nice, Nick. If you got any, just throw them in, okay?
Okay, sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
go for
mean,
it.
oh, super awesome, dude. Boxing, yeah, you're 100% right. It used to be something really awesome. I would love to get into it, but at this point, there's so much like hatred towards it. It feels like I remember back in the day, and I'm not even a big boxing guy. I've only seen maybe five over the course of my entire life. Obviously, watching them live, I've seen a million clips online, but I remember just back in the day, just heavyweights or super heavyweights or whatever they were called back then, just two dudes standing in front of each other, just blasting each other. And those were the days in my mind. And then obviously it changed quite a bit. We saw the Floyd Money Mayweather and all that other stuff. So I think he's a great technical boxer, but again, I don't know enough about boxing to really even get into that discussion. But that's super awesome, man. Is it a whole lot of fun?
Mayweather was great. I mean,
Mayweather.
great at business too, and also great at avoiding fights. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he absolutely pick and chose and dodged and did all that other stuff. That's why I think boxing got so weird for a lot of people. Is like you should just have to fight the best of the best constantly. But I get where certain people are trying to, make the bag more than they're trying to push the sport forward.
That's why Dana White getting into boxing is actually a good thing.
You think
And
so?
people
People
are freaking out about fighter pay. I'm like, yes, because do you really want to overpay for a fight, or do you want to pay an amount that's commensurate to their value? I think people aren't thinking like economically. No one wants to overpay for a really bad fight. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to see the best fight the best, but quite frankly, there are a lot of fighters who don't want to fight the best.
Yeah,
and that's a problem.
It is a little unfortunate because like that was the bit. Well, not a little. It's really unfortunate because, man, I followed a lot of Mayweather's career. That was when I started getting into boxing, and I'll catch all the big fights now. I want to watch even more. I love UFC, and the problem I think boxing's got is you can't have, when you only have so many boxers that the casual audience knows, you've got to have these fights you can't have them like once every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You got to have them more frequent to keep people invested. And Mayweather, like, not just Pacquiao, that would have been the one though. They should have fought way earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to fight in 2010.
Really?
And I was 15 years old when they were supposed to fight, and I was almost graduating college when they fought.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna be 33, and now they're talking about a rematch. I'm like, come on, man! Like, it's getting ridiculous.
I do hate, like, don't get me wrong, I still like watching them, but it's not the same. Like, even the Tyson fight, like, I wanted to watch him take Paul's head off, but like, there's a difference between Tyson, and I'm still impressed. He's even trying to go in a ring in his late 50s. But there's clearly slippage, which happens with anybody. If it had been 20 years ago, Tyson.
Oh yeah.
Well, Tyson even 20 years ago had no legs, and people actually thought that Mike Tyson 20 years after his prime. I mean, come on. And of course, he had a knee injury. He had a brace on, so it was just bad. And Tyson needed the money, so he basically took the bag. And people think it was rigged. I mean, in a sense, it kind of was, because Tyson was hurt, but at the same time, a 60-year-old guy is not going to be able to put, pressure on his legs to get full force on his punches. That's the thing. It's like Jake LaMotta, age 98, sitting in a wheelchair, was not going to beat anybody. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you feel like, though, that like obviously them trying to pick their own fights is leading to a lot of issues? Do you think it would benefit boxing as a sport to have like an independent body that schedules fights and does all that? Or do you think they should still just do whatever, where they're kind of essentially picking and choosing the ones?
I mean, that would help, except they've already done that. That was the whole point of adding all these different sanctioning bodies, was to create mandatory challengers like the IBF and the WBO, the WBA.
Okay.
But then at some point, all those kind of got intertwined, and they started falling to the same corporate politics. So, for example, when Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, Mauricio Suleiman said that Dmitry Bivol wasn't allowed to fight for his belt because he's Russian. Apparently forgetting that his own fighter that had his belt was also Russian, but then made an excuse that he wasn't really Russian because he lived in Montreal. I'm like, but he still has a Russian accent. What are we doing?
And probably a Russian passport at that point.
So are you suggesting that like Dmitry Bivol has to move to Seoul, South Korea, because he is half Korean? So he has to move to Korea to fight for your belt? Like, come on.
That doesn't make any sense. See, I was thinking more of like how the NFL, and I hate the way the NFL does it personally, but like how they have an independent one where they're just like, this person's fighting this person on this date, and like just here's the cards way in advance and everything like that. Kind of like I guess the UFC does, but theirs is also they can throw a fight together last second. So
yeah, the thing with boxing is that there's too many players. So you have all these different networks. You have DAZN here. You used to have ESPN, Fox, and
HBO. Remember HBO
HBO.
days?
Yeah, and some of these fighters they have like exclusive network deals. So,
Oh,
for instance, like let's say a world champion has an exclusive deal with DAZN, and the number two champion of the world has an exclusive deal with another network. They can't fight unless if both networks agree to do a joint show, which hardly ever happens. I think it's only happened like 2 or 3 times. And
wow.
Mayweather Pacquiao was like the first time it was ever done because Mayweather jumped from HBO to Showtime in 2013.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, that
And
that obviously
HBO let Showtime or HBO let Mayweather go. They didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Well, they got tired of it. Like they were like,
Yeah.
okay, what year? Like you were saying, 2010. In 2010, Mayweather would have been maybe 33 in the prime of his career, and Pacquiao would have been 31. That would have been an epic fight. Both those guys at the right age, because early 30s, you could even be mid 30s and be okay sometimes. But at that age, we would have seen the best of Pacquiao. I personally still think Mayweather might have taken him, but it's a little annoying when they just shake the guy. I get tired of that. It happens in UFC
I
now
think
too.
Mayweather would have won still.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
do too. I do
Just
too.
because styles, the reach. Like you gotta
You're right.
think like
Mm-hmm.
the superior boxer, Mayweather had the superior reach. I think in the early rounds, like Pacquiao would have success, but as soon as Mayweather got on his bicycle and started getting him to walk into shots, it would have been a walk in the park, probably a 7-5, 8-4 fight, which is how it was when they actually fought too,
Yeah.
aside from the shoulder injury.
Yeah, we'll go caveating off of that. Do you think with this partnership or acquisition and everything with Dana White, do you think that actually changes boxing for the better? And if so, how?
It changes things to an extent. Like you have fighters like Jai Opataya, for example. He wants to fight the best.
Yeah.
Now, would Canelo Alvarez join Dana White? Heck no. Like Canelo is so big now. He's like
Yeah.
literally the face of boxing. He's not really gonna go with that.
Okay.
He's gonna pick his own fights. Which he's done for a while. Well, I would say like ever since he lost to Bivol in May of 2022, that's when Canelo changed. He got really beat up in that fight. And ever since then, he fought John Ryder, he fought Berlanga, he fought Munguia, completely avoided David Benavidez, and the excuse was, well, he's 25 pounds bigger than me. Well, you guys were in the same weight class. Like it was a whole,
Yeah.
and then it became, oh, Benavidez is Mexican, and I don't want to fight another Mexican who would divide the fan base, but Benavidez isn't Mexican. So, from what I understand,
Also, what's the difference? Like, no offense, you got to fight the best or fight the person that's in front of you, irrelevant of who they are. Like, that's
Yeah.
such a weird cop
Like,
out.
I
and
think that.
boxing was so dead last year. That's when I was like,
Oh,
I'm like literally about to throw in the towel here and
see,
just cover hockey.
The
The
only reason I
Crawford
stayed
fight
up
was a
on
lot
it,
of fun though. The Crawford fight was great. I enjoyed that
Hmm.
yeah,
thoroughly, man.
Yeah,
I'm at the point now where I still have yet as an adult to pay to watch a fight. So I'm eventually going to have to do it.
I
Good
don't
for
really
you.
blame you. The Stream East is still around.
It's always going to be around. Always.
Yep.
Well, the Paramount Plus deal is huge already. I'm excited to watch more tomorrow. I've paid for. I'm like Nick. I paid for several fights, but I had a blast watching it last week. No, man. It was. I enjoyed that whole night was great. The
Yeah.
Gaethje fight was awesome, but I enjoyed the prelims. But I was really impressed with the way the game plan that Pimblett had against Gaethje was just a bad. Ryan, I don't know if you're a UFC guy, but I was. That was one of the. I've watched a lot of UFC. That guy took maybe the biggest beating I've ever seen without going down, and he was still trying to throw strikes in the fifth. But it shows, like how you said, styles make fights. Pacquiao style, I don't think would have. I mean, like this is such a tired topic, but really, Pacquiao, I just don't think would have matched up well against Mayweather in their prime.
No.
You said it earlier.
I mean, he would. I mean, it would have been a good fight in the early rounds, but
Yeah.
as soon as because if you even look back to when Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton, the first couple rounds of that fight were pretty iffy.
Yes, they
And
were.
then once he figured him out, he knocked him out. Now I don't think he would have knocked out Manny, but he probably would have clipped him late in the fight.
There's
think
few
so,
people
too.
that I think could knock out Manny, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's only a few people that might be able to knock him out. So
Like Crawford. I mean,
Yeah.
Crawford. Marquez already did, and then of course he got knocked out 3 other times in his career.
Yeah.
While we're on the fighting, because I could talk about this like for an hour and a half, but I do want to hit. I got to talk to you more about some hockey. One of your teams is doing great, but really quick, how impressed were you with Crawford going up Did you expect him to be able to carry the weight that well? That was the biggest shock for me. I know how technically sound he was. I just thought he would struggle a little bit going up that much weight. And that was, were you surprised?
Not really. I've
That's pretty awesome.
I've been in training camp with Bud, and so I wasn't
That's so
surprised.
What?
Yeah, I was in training camp with Bud when he was getting ready for the Jose Benavides fight. That's David's brother.
Oh wow.
But Shakur Stevenson was there, Jamel Herring was there, Maurice Hooker was there, Michaela Mayer was there, there's a funny story with that because
So sick.
I was working out in the heavy bag and I was not really paying attention because it was the first time seeing Michaela Mayer in person, and wow, she's gorgeous. And I was just messing around in the bag and I see a small figure approaching me like within the corner of my eye. Before I even got a chance to even process it, I just heard, "Get your effing hands up." And it was Terrence Crawford screaming at me to get back to work.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That
That's what
is
you're gonna remember for the rest of your life too. You're gonna remember that story forever.
The way he looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, thanks for the tip, bud." And he just looked at me like, "This guy's weird, man."
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, that reminds me of the I'm not sure if you're familiar with the comedian Ali Sadiq. He talks about
I've never heard of him.
Oh, fantastic. If
I
you ever want to
agree,
watch
Pete.
it. But he talked about one where he was chilling with his son or something like that. He was at a boxing thing and he was just sitting there looking across, started eyeing some other guy. They started going back and forth. And the dude's like, "Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go box." And come to find out he was some like, oh, it's Todd Emanuel. There we go. So Todd Emanuel was like, "Okay, come on, let's get in the ring. Let's go box." And he goes, "I swear to God, I've never had my butt whipped so hard, so quickly." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, these are professionals."
It's funny. Like I've seen Todd Emanuel fight. I think that name just sounds familiar.
I didn't know it. I'm more of a comedian guy, but as soon as he mentioned it, I looked him up, and he ain't no joke. He's a big dude. Obviously, they're all big guys.
Do you say Todd Emanuel or Todd Manuel?
I think it's Todd Emanuel. Let me look it up.
Hey, I got a quick question, Ryan, while he looks it up.
If it's Todd Manuel, he's still fighting. He fought Victor Ortiz.
Todd Manuel. There we go. I apologize.
Yeah, he fought Victor Ortiz.
Oh, that's right, he did. I was like, I've seen that name before because I like to read all the stuff on all these fighters and watch some of their highlights.
He fought Bohachuk. He fought Stanionis. I mean, he's fought some really good fight. Josecito Lopez.
Oh yeah.
Brian Castano. I mean, he's fought
right.
a lot of good names. Lost to all of them, but I mean, he's got the experience.
Hey, to still get enough ring with that many, legit people that we've heard of is still pretty. Even if you're getting knocked out every time.
Yeah.
Some guys
got to be the local boxer that gets beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to be. There's stepping stones, and even to be a stepping stone is impressive. It really is.
Yeah.
Ryan, who is? I know this is a silly question, but I just got to know. All time, who's your favorite boxer ever?
My favorite boxer ever.
You could go with one you've seen in your lifetime, or anybody. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I think like the favorite fight, I guess, as a fan, I would say probably Terrence Crawford. I would say is my favorite, probably.
Good answer.
Honestly. But greatest of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson.
I agree.
Over Muhammad Ali.
Well, Crawford just put himself in a rarefied air. If he really does stick to retirement, so beating Canelo and going up that weight class kind of put a really nice bow on his legacy. Like he doesn't even need to fight again, and he's gonna. Where do you think Crawford lands pound for pound all time? Like if you were to make a list, you don't have to run through all the names.
Yeah, I mean it's all objective. Everyone has a different pound for pound list.
It's so hard. I feel like he's got to fall somewhere on some top list because to go undefeated the way he did, how many different weight classes did he hold titles at? I mean, it's just.
I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
Good God.
I got to check. It's multiple. It's not.
No, because he won at lightweight. He won at junior welter,
5.
Junior middle. That's 5 divisions.
Ooh,
yeah,
that was good, man. Super lightweight, super middle, light welter, and super middle.
Yeah.
And he's only the second guy ever to have
the thing is with Bud is that he never took a tune-up fight. So every time he moved up a weight class, he immediately fought a champion. So he won a title at 135. He beat Ricky Burns. He went to 140. And I think the first guy he fought was Postol, who had just knocked out Machisa. He beat him. Went to 147, immediately fought Jeff Horn. had to wait a gazillion years to fight Errol Spence for, a variety of reasons, beat him.
Mhm.
First fight at 154, he beats, he just
Good,
fought
good
Madrimov,
memory.
and then he goes up and fights Canelo. I mean, to me, that you have to put him in top 10, in my opinion.
I think so too. I was thinking top 15, but I think he might have cracked with what he just did. Because I mean, like even just like looking at his bio, man. I remember I was reading this the other day, but in the 4-belt era, he's the first male boxer to have the undisputed championship in 2 and 3 divisions. But he's only the second male boxer in all of history to be the 3-weight undisputed world champion. I mean, that's to be one of 2.
And the thing is,
Pretty
he did it
special.
in the era where no one's fighting. So
Exactly.
to
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
happy we got to see the Canelo fight. I would love if he came out of retirement and did one more, but kind of like Khabib in UFC, he doesn't need it to add to his legacy. We just want more because of how great he was, but we don't. It's not needed. He already is really special. Okay.
That's the way Rocky Marciano said. He's like, I
Oh
could
yeah,
fight, but I don't have the hunger anymore. It's not the same.
exactly. Man, this is making me want to talk boxing for a whole
Really
hour
quick,
and a half.
though,
Yeah, go ahead.
before we move on from boxing, is there an MMA or boxing quote or anything like that soundbite that just will always stick in your memory from a boxer or fighter? Mine
Man.
is the one from Khabib, where he's like, I take people into deep water and find out show them who they really are or whatever. I'm like, ooh, that's cold. That is, ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of quotes. I mean, when Canelo talked to Caleb Plant about you're about to witness something special. That was pretty cool.
Okay, yep. So you got to have that confidence at that
Right
level.
after he assaulted him at the press conference.
Those are always my
So
favorite.
funny.
It's like, guys, come on, you guys are fighting in like a week.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yep.
Any upcoming fights you're really excited about? I know there's a title fight tomorrow. There's some UFC. Anything you're really excited about coming up?
I'm
Next
excited
2
for
weeks?
Tiafimo and Shakur tomorrow. That's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I was like, I might watch because I'm already going to be watching UFC. So I
Are you
might be
Tiafimo shows up when the lights are bright, so I think it's going to be a really close fight.
It should be in its first title, so that's going to be a big one against Stevenson.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
Do you stream
right.
during the fights?
Hmm?
Do you stream or do anything like that during the fights, or?
Not really. I mean, I'm not. I guess I'm kind of old school. I just write. I probably could. I could probably go on YouTube and live stream my face as I'm watching, like one of those nerds. Like, yeah, I could do that.
Hey, that's me during the Hornets game.
I don't know if
I'm
anyone would
literally
watch.
Like
I'm
one of
literally
those
watching a
nerds.
stream on one, and I'm like trying to talk about it. It's so hard. I can only imagine it'd be hard to like commentate on a boxing match.
I've never done it I've only done it on TikTok. I've never done it during a Packer game because I got to be honest. My other buddy wants to do it next year. I'm like, man, I just want to watch the game. Like I get so into it. I don't like. I could talk with like somebody else like when I'm watching with friends, but like I get so into it and I curse a lot. So it wouldn't be family friendly. It just wouldn't be. When when they were dropping 21-3 to the Bears, you don't want to know the words that came out of my mouth. I was ticked. I sent my Bears buddy. So Ryan, you love this. My other co-host, who's on all the time, Nick knows him. It's a Packer and a Bear guy. That's just one of our things. But he's one of my best buds too. Nick is great. They love them both. His name's Med. And I sent him a video when it was 14 or 17-3, I can't remember. And I said, there's no way the Bears come back.
That's why you don't put that out there.
I put it on YouTube too. He sent me that. And I was with my buddy that he knows. Me and her recorded it, and he's like, "I'm gonna keep this forever." And I was like, "I hate you." And I hate being like the guy that wants blood and wants coaches fired. But I lost total faith because that was the third time this season my head coach blew a lead. Look, I guess we can pivot to football for a minute. That was the third time he blew a lead to Chicago. He only got saved the first time because he had Micah, but he blew 2 leads to Chicago, and I just lost faith. But yeah, man, that was he got to live that up. That was not a happy day.
That was me.
I'm a Pats fan, and I got to roast people for the 28-3 game. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I got a great one for you. Then there's a girl on Twitter talking about she's gonna allow all the homies to come hang out with her if the Pats win, and I was like, oh no.
What?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the words, but you get where I'm.
Yeah, that's.
She
That's
literally put
very
it out there. I
weird.
screenshotted it. I'm gonna make a YouTube short about it. I was like, okay,
Wow.
I guess the Pats fans are all going for this one.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, yeah, bro, that's strange.
that is strange. Okay, while we're on the NFL
Not
stuff,
my style.
I wanted to hit hockey, but let's just do it. We're on your Pats. What were your expectations when they hired Vrabel before the season?
I
What were you
expected them to make
expecting?
the playoffs, but definitely didn't expect them to make the Super Bowl.
That was my
Agreed.
thought. I was thinking wild card behind New England. I was thinking, or behind Buffalo. I was thinking like 10-7, maybe 11-6 if they were lucky. Didn't expect a division crown and a Super Bowl berth.
Yeah,
Like
I knew Drake May was like special, but maybe not this early.
that was
I
Yeah,
my
would
thought
agree.
but
too.
he's
thought
really
you
come
guys-
along.
I felt like you guys we're going to do it next year. I felt like you guys were going to get a solid draft pick this year, defensively probably, and then next year really roll with it. But clearly, the 32nd pick might not be a great place for you guys to draft.
Did you see that tweet? It went viral. It was this guy. He was watching Drake May play like Pop Warner football in 2012, and he was saying, "Wow, this Drake May kid is the best athlete he's ever seen."
Yeah, it was
And
like
so all these years
2011
later,
or
he's like,
something
"Holy
like that.
crap,
Yep,
this kid's
yep.
in the Super Bowl."
Yep, I saw that tweet. I was like, oh, there's no way. It's got to be fake. And I looked it up and I was like, damn, this dude really called his shot while this kid was, I didn't know it was Pop Warner, but wow.
Yeah,
Love it, dude. You guys got so lucky, man. You had to endure a few years after Brady, and now you got Drake May. Like I thought my team was blessed with their quarterbacks, man. Like, damn, you guys go from the GOAT to this kid looks freaking special, dude.
As a Panthers
Seriously.
fan, I hate you both.
I know. Well, my
I'm
team
stuck
though,
with Bryce Young.
hey, my team has had a lot of playoff. I know they've won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, but outside of those 2, my playoff miseries are becoming it's a pretty long list. Like
My playoff miseries are 2 Super Bowl losses and one of the most viral clips in NFL history of Cam not jumping on a ball.
at least your guys know how to catch onside kicks. My team blew a Super Bowl.
My team
Because
can't
of
win a
that.
Super Bowl. I don't care about them catching kicks.
That's true. I lost one because of that. That Seattle one. I think if we clear Seattle, I think we could have beat New England that year. And just we couldn't recover an onside kick. But
I agree.
it is
I
what it is.
mean, I grew up in Arizona and got to watch Carson Palmer throw 5 interceptions in that NFC Championship game. That was awful.
Wait, you grew up in
Yeah.
Arizona? I lived there
Yeah,
for like
I
20
grew up
years,
in
man.
Yuma.
Oh, I was in Phoenix. I'm gonna be moving back soon. Scottsdale, Tempe for a little bit, Glendale. I've been out to Yuma a bunch, man.
Where are you at now?
I'm not just south of Dallas. I'm moving back this summer.
Oh, sweet.
Funny story. My uncle woke me up 2008 or 9. I think it's 2009. He wakes me up. He's like, "Hey, NFC Conference Championship, $200. You in?" I was like, "Absolutely." It was the year Kurt Warner made the Super Bowl with the Cardinals, and I got to see that game against Andy Reid, one of his last runs with Philly, and Donovan McNabb. I got to go to the conference championship game. That was pretty sweet, man.
I actually, come to
that
think
was
of it,
fun.
I actually streamed that one when I was like 15
You
That's so
did?
sick.
on an old YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice, man.
that was pretty cool.
I'm gonna go check out that stream later.
Well, it's not online anymore. That account got suspended like 20 years ago.
Bro,
been a
not
while.
me. I saw the video somewhere out there of me drunk eating pancakes. So
Ooh,
can't get it taken off YouTube.
I've only been drunk like twice in my life.
Yeah.
good for you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way better than me.
That Kurt Warner run, I was so impressed that he was
Yeah.
able to do that with another team, added to the guy's legacy. But it was so much fun to watch in person. I wish as much as I loved that Pittsburgh team, I wish that he was able to win that second ring. That would have been fun. But
Me too. We were close.
Arizona sports, they need a championship. It's been way too long. Like I know the Suns had a minute; they were decent, but especially after losing the Coyotes, that sucked, man.
Did you see that they moved on from pursuing Clint Kubiak pretty much?
Really?
It's not officially like done. Obviously, Kubiak is right now in the catbird seat to take the Vegas Raiders job. But I saw that the Cardinals started bringing in more people. I'm like, that's not what the Raiders are doing. The Raiders brought in Ejiro Evero to clear their Rooney Rule, and then after that, they're waiting for Clint Kubiak.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, they started bringing in a bunch more people, and then who else? Davis Webb
I-
just bowed out.
I want to pivot to the Cardinals in a second because I got a Kyler Murray question for both of y'all. But Ryan, how are you feeling after that AFC Conference Championship. Were you super impressed with the performance of the team in the snow, or were you like wanting a little more? I mean, you still won the game. What were your thoughts after that game?
That game was horrible. Like it was just hard. I mean, honestly, most of
It
the
was.
NFL playoffs have been terrible to watch. Like the
Agreed.
product now is just it's so watered down. So I don't know. The Green Bay Chicago game I really enjoyed. Every game with the
Oh,
Seahawks I enjoyed. Um some of the Buffalo games were good.
hmm
The first New England game was okay. It wasn't great. And this last one was just miserable. And of course, I was covering the Avs at the same time for the stadium, but I was watching both, and I was like, man, this
Yeah.
game's terrible.
The Rams,
Um,
the Rams Bears
Are
game
you in
had some
Denver
fun
now?
moments near the end.
yeah, that one too.
Okay. Are you in Denver? You said the Avs.
Yeah, I'm in Denver.
Nice. I just
Nice,
left
man.
Colorado Springs like a year
That
ago.
was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. The Springs is great. I actually had an apartment. My first apartment was in the Springs.
I had the I loved it. I literally would walk outside my apartment, look to my right, and there was Pikes Peak. It was the coolest backdrop ever.
Garden of the
really wanna-
Gods for me.
I
There you
gotta
go.
go up there. I've been through South Colorado. When I move back, I'm gonna make a trip soon. I gotta visit Colorado, man. That's like
Colorado Springs is legit.
I
so
haven't
much
been. I
fun.
went through Durango and I went through like Wolf Creek Pass in the bottom of the state, but I've never made it to Denver. I'm gonna do it soon.
It's
Do
the best state. Like moving to
Genuinely.
Colorado is a great decision.
Yeah,
Not for dating, but for everything else. Yeah.
Not for dating, really.
Depends on what you're
No.
looking for.
A lot of women up there, man.
A lot of crazy ones.
Hey, I can relate. In Texas, I agree.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um,
Did you see that the Seahawks making the Super Bowl against the Patriots? It's already forcing the Seahawks to sell the team. They
do
just
you think that's why?
no, of course not. But I mean, it's great. It's a great storyline for Patriots fans because if you beat them, you're like, look, you had to sell the team.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty funny.
Especially after what happened in 2014. Man, it's rough.
Oh,
Oh
right.
man.
God, that would be
Okay,
so
so
epic.
so I got a question here. So what do you think you guys need to do to win this game? Because the Seattle team has been pretty damn good, especially on defense. Darnold went toe for toe with Stafford. That was the thing I was most impressed with that game because I thought Darnold might be the reason they lose. And to be honest, the reason why you guys won your game was you forced that one crucial turnover from Stidham. In a low scoring game that ended up being the difference in the game. It just absolutely was. You guys got 7 out of it. That's why you won the game. It was 10-7. So it was one big mistake by a backup QB. He hadn't played in 2 years. What do you think you need to do to beat the Seattle team to get your 7th Super Bowl?
Well, the offense has to do more offense for sure. We got to score.
Absolutely.
And the defense is solid. I don't have any issues with the defense. It's honestly going to be up to the offense, and then finding a way. I would say try to get to Darnold early, which is hard. Which is kind of hard to say in this era of the NFL when you say get to Darnold. If you hit him too hard, well, you're probably going to get flagged for roughing the passer. So
I still think you just put a hit on him.
yeah,
Honestly.
should find
gotta rattle.
got to find a way to at least send a message. So yeah. I think it's going to be close. I think it's probably going to be like a very close game, honestly. I can
do
see
too.
it being like 2013 or something closer than that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Either way.
Riddle me this. You're a Pats fan. Why are they and Nick he covers NFL rookies even more than I do. Why didn't Travion Henderson get a touch until the second half? I think he might have had one going into halftime. Why? What is it with Vrabel? Like he started using the kid more and more the second half of the season. Why in the AFC Conference Championship did we not even see much of him till the third quarter? Like, is there? I don't know if you watch enough Pats. I just was like, why? You guys were struggling for offense in that game. I felt like you needed some kind of spark, something. And I know a lot of it was weather. The weather was atrocious
Yep.
up
Yeah.
in Denver. But like, man, what is it? Vrabel's a great coach. Is it a
He is.
trust thing?
It's probably a
rookies?
trust thing
That's
because
what
I
I think
think
it is. Yeah.
I think it's a trust thing, and we see that with the Avs too. I remember when when Mackenzie Blackwood was hurt and Scott Wedgwood was making like 7-8 consecutive starts in the net. I was like, this is for modern day NHL. That's a lot of starts. There's going to be a point where you're going to need to put this backup that's never started a game in So I was like, why not just give him a shot? Because if I'm Trent Miner, I'm kind of feeling like kind of disrespected, sitting here for 7 straight games and not getting any action. Then finally he got action, actually did pretty well. Was a little shaky at the start, and then later on, he obviously got his first shutout in his first win, which is very rare in NHL history. But I feel like there was there was a trust issue there for Vrabel, especially in a playoff game, in a very tight playoff game. I think the fear was maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe wait until we have a little bit more of a cushion. That's the way I looked at it.
And it's funny because Stevenson actually is very fumble prone. So he's
Yeah.
rolling
Yeah.
with a guy who's fumbling. I mean, he's not terrible. When he gets going, he actually can be pretty solid. But the guy turned the ball over a ton of times this year. So that's a risk in itself when you're having trust issues with a rookie, but your vet, I think he had like 7, 8 fumbles this year. It was bad.
Mhm.
It was not good.
It gave me
So
LeGarrette Blunt vibes.
Oh my
that's
God,
a
what a
good
name!
comp. Love
Yeah.
LeGarrette Blunt was such a fun touchdown
Yeah.
machine for a little bit there. He really was.
I haven't
But
heard
man,
that
he
name in a
fumbled a
minute.
lot in key moments. What?
Yes, he did. Yeah, that's spot on because like he either got you a touchdown or odds are he was either going to score or get a fumble.
I agree.
Pretty
And
much,
Half the time he didn't even get tackled and fumble. The ball would just pop out.
which is
I agree.
why when those guys don't even get tackled, they just lose the ball. I'm like, come on, man. Like you're getting paid way too much, but it happens. Nick,
I do think it's a confidence issue though. Like with Trevion, I feel like he's a really good running back. To be
Mhm.
honest, I got him in a lot of dynasties. I genuinely feel like he's going to be their bell cow next year. But as a rookie, I didn't really expect him to blow it out or anything like that. I definitely felt like those fumbles from Ramondre would change stuff. But I mean, I can't knock what Vrabel's done. He's in the Super Bowl. I do think that it's the offense to lose this game at this point, both sides. If Sam Darnold turns into the Sam Darnold of old and throws 3 picks and they end up with 12 points, the Patriots can blow them out. It can
I'm
go
starting to
both ways,
True.
of course,
I'm
but
starting to think he's past it, man. That was a huge test.
I agree with you. But I feel like that right now is the discussion that we're going to be having about a lot of players. Who are we hearing about on these other teams? Daniel Jones, who spent multiple years at other places. Mac Jones. Jesus,
Mac
Darnold,
Jones.
we just said.
Mac Jones could be the guy. There
Malik
situation.
Willis.
Malik Willis, I think, could actually start somewhere. I really do. I think coaching and situations matter. Like if you threw, and I know Nick isn't huge on Jordan Love, but I'm going to give. He got to sit for a minute, but even Drake May, you saw the difference this year with good coaching with Vrabel, and they went out and invested and got Travion. They went out and got some offensive linemen. Diggs is aging, but they spent money on defense as well, but they spent the most money in the NFL and draft capital on the offense. And while they still have a ways to go, you could see the difference how the situation and coaching we knew May had raw potential, but look what happens when you put them in a bit better environment.
Correct. Yeah. And that's what I feel
Well, Ryan
like
ate his food.
there's so much opportunity now with the Patriots. And it's genuinely like, if I could pick somebody for them right now, it would be a wide receiver because Diggs isn't getting any younger. Booty has his moments, but he's not a consistent one. Matt Collins, don't even get me started.
I think Kyle Williams could be a good deep threat.
I love Kyle Williams, but he hasn't even shown the crazy, like high end ability that I felt like he had coming out of college.
I want 2 years. Some guys, we also got to be more patient, Ryan. I'm sure you believe this in hockey. I want to get your thought. We're going to pivot to hockey in a minute, but I like that we kind of like did 20 minutes on each one. Some guys take a little bit longer. Like I don't want to write off Matthew Golden. There's some other guys. Even Luther Burden didn't start flashing till later in the season. Like Kyle Williams with Drake May's deep ball, if they can get on the same page, that's going to be freaking scary, man. Because I think the thing that impressed me this year the most, Ryan and Nick, about Drake May, he already has the best deep ball in the NFL. That's freaking crazy. And I know he's younger, but to be that accurate on his deep ball is pretty insane for a second-year quarterback. That doesn't typically happen. It's given me like Dan Marino vibes, how accurate he's been with it. It's been pretty special.
And not to mention, Joshua Dobbs' deep ball is actually pretty good as well. That's their backup, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
I've always been a fan of Joshua Dobbs. I feel like he's never
Me
really
too.
he's never really had a chance to really show his skill.
Get a little more of a stake, like just a little more opportunity.
He's just at the point now where like he's not a viable quarterback one. He's a veteran now. Like he had his chance, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But speaking of, the Patriots actually have 39 million in cap as of right now, 34 million effective cap. So they
That's what
still
makes-
have a lot that they could go out there and go get. And with Mike Evans saying that he doesn't want to return to the Bucks,
That'd be a good vet option. You know what's
Which
funny
is crazy because he's been there his whole career.
yeah. But I think he sees the writing on the wall with what's going to happen. And I called this. The division got better. And again, as a Panthers fan, God, do I want the Bucks to suck so bad. But that's not how this is going to work. They're going to have a little bit of a sputter year. I feel like this one coming up. They're going to fire Bowles in the middle of the season, and they're going to go out there and pick Tomlin as the division, which means my division, my coach will immediately become the fourth best coach because it'll have Kevin Stefanski, Kellen Moore, and Mike Tomlin in the division. So I feel like he doesn't want to be there for the 5 or 6 win season they're about to have. He wants to go someplace else.
I think New England, and that'd be cool to have Stephon Diggs, and
You think
as long as he stays out of court, he should be fine.
I think so. He seems to like it there, don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, but he's going to have to serve a suspension.
Yeah.
At least
They
6
seem like
games, I'm assuming.
They seem like the type of team that actually might be able to overcome that, especially if they get another vet like Mike Evans, or if
Add
they go
Mike
and
Evans
draft.
and trade for AJ Brown.
Oh man, AJ Brown would be perfect for you guys because he can't.
What
go
about
there.
Antonio Brown? I'm just joking.
Hell no, no.
AJ Brown in the right. I think he's just as tired of Sirianni. That guy just rubs some people the wrong way, and AJ Brown's not the one to f with. It's a family-friendly show, so I'm not going to say the word, but I just think AJ Brown's not the one to mess with, and Sirianni, the way he gets in people's faces, I just think they've been on. And Jalen Hurts is such a skittish quarterback. Like,
if that's the case, you can give us insight into AJ Brown's future. Their OC was the former quarterbacks coach for the Packers. So
I don't think AJ Brown's back. I don't think my team doesn't have the capital, but I guarantee you he's not back in Philly.
That's what I'm saying, though. The OC in Philly is a Packer. Do you think that would benefit if he does decide to stay?
Yeah, but I just think they're a weird team. I think they're actually going to be better this year. They're up and down, man. Like with Sirianni the last few years, they made the wild card, got beat by the Bucks, Super Bowl, beat by the Bucks, Super Bowl, and then this year wild card again. They made the playoffs last 5 years, I believe, if I'm thinking right, or it's been 4. I might have added a year, but I don't think that means they're going to go for a Super Bowl run. But if they make the right tweaks on that roster, the thing I'm wondering is if the problem is Kellen Moore was such a boon for that team, and they're obviously not getting him back because he's the Saints head coach now. But Kellen Moore helped. It wasn't just getting Saquon. You needed the right play caller to get the most out of that team, and that offensive line in Philly has long driven that team. And if it's not quite right, everything on the offense, more than any other team in the NFL, is just off. New England offensive lines matter, though. You saw it in New England. They went out and invested in their own line. Everybody thinks of the receivers and Travion. They invested in the own line. That was one of the biggest reasons that they were able to have the success they had this year.
I agree. What's your thoughts on the pick, Will Campbell, Ryan?
Are you coming back tomorrow?
I think Campbell's been really solid. He's actually been one of my the left tackle. He's been pretty good. I think he's been pretty good most of the year. But yeah, I think it's ultimately gonna. I don't think it's really gonna come down to. I think the O line's pretty strong. I think it's just getting the offense to move. And I don't know what the issue was against the Chargers. Maybe it was a little bit of stage fright because every team has that in the playoffs. But well, you can't have stage fright in the Super Bowl because if you have that, you're gonna get run over.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Really quickly, since you're a Patriots guy, a Patriots insider just put out something about the firing of Kwefi Adolphe-Mensah. Have you guys seen it?
Not yet.
No.
It says, from what he understands, there was an internal disagreement when drafting J.J. McCarthy and deciding whether to prioritize him or Sam Darnold in the offseason. KOC wanted to go in the other direction, and the Vikings were moments away from trading McCarthy to the Raiders this offseason, but couldn't pull it off.
Ooh, interesting.
It was posted by Daniel Rotman, retired founder of Scout D NFL. Oh, and he also used to work for PFF. So
good take, man. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It's not saying it's making any audio. My little USB thingy keeps moving. So
What? You guys also got Jared Wilson?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Jared Wilson was the pick that I wanted for my team. So you guys really got a good one with him. I know we had a little bit of an issue with health, but I completely forgot about him.
Ryan, I got one last Pats question for you, and then I had some hockey I gotta hit because
Yeah, I was just reading that thing on JJ McCarthy. That's crazy. That's from 7 hours ago.
Yep. I just finally saw it. It came across mine and like, wow.
that is nuts. Okay,
That doesn't surprise me though, especially now that
quick-
Darnold's like doing really well.
Ryan, if you win or lose the Super Bowl, what's the biggest thing you want to see with the Pats going into 2026? Win or lose, what are you hoping for this offseason? Are you hoping for a receiver, some moves on defense, maybe a tight end, even though I like Hunter Henry, but what are you hoping to see? More investment on the
I'd say
O-line?
some receivers. You know, I mean, like
I
you said, I
agree.
think AJ Brown would be a good fit. Mike Evans, I think he still has a few good years in him. That would be great. I think because the issue right now is Drake May has the best deep ball in the NFL, but he's got to have guys that can catch the ball. We
I
saw
agree.
what happened when Tom in 2020 with Tom Brady. No, it was 2019. They had no one that could catch the ball on that team,
Yep.
and they really couldn't get anything moving.
I mean, I complain about my team's receivers, but I mean, they still last year they dropped the ball a lot, but they're still solid. You guys had one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL last year, so it's usually not a 1-year upgrade, but it was a big boon this year. But the problem is Stephon Diggs at his age can't do it game to game. You're going to see flashes, but yeah, you definitely need more.
And he's got a lot of things going on outside of football right now.
I agree.
Does. That's
the name that I would keep for a flyer for you guys is the one that I hope my team gets. So if you guys get him, it'd be great. Is Ted Hurst, the kid out of Georgia State. Yeah. I've been talking about him for a month, and he just went and blew up at the Senior Bowl. He was 180 consensus pick a month ago, and he's going to go probably top 110 now. He would be a great one to open up your offense.
That'd be fantastic.
If you don't get Mike Evans or AJ Brown, you know how I could see the Pats signing. Nickel might disagree, but I think Romeo Doubs could end up being a target for you guys. I really do.
Not for 15 to 18 million like he's asking. No.
If they clear and move more money around and they can get him at 15 or under, I feel like he's a Pat. Let's keep an eye on it, because I don't think the Packers are going to be able to keep him. They have too many free agents. They're
not going to keep him for sure.
Well, yeah, and they're going to have to choose between Watson and Quay Walker, probably, unfortunately. So.
And you're going to go for Watson over Quay Walker for a dumb reason.
I'm hoping they can move some other money around and cut Rashawn Gary, but we'll find. That's a whole other story, though.
You know who should go get?
Even George Pickens would be good for the Patriots.
If you land George Pickens, Ryan, listen, I know he just had his best year, but in the right environment with good coaching, oh my gosh, you just saw a motivated George Pickens in freaking Dallas. And I know he had CeeDee Lamb next to him, but if you kept Stephon Diggs with a Kyle Williams, with Booty, with, oh my gosh, Pickens with Drake May, if you had a motivated George Pickens who's not being an idiot, that would be this guy. I think has got.
He could wake up Diggs too. It could motivate Diggs to have a good year.
Can you imagine Diggs as a 2? That's perfect for him at his age. Perfect.
I agree, but you'd have to destroy all of your cap to get him, though.
Yeah, it's true.
That would be your only free agent acquisition.
But you'd
have to add everything else to the draft.
But then
it might be the right move, though.
That would be like Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. Those were like some of my 2 favorite receivers growing up.
Oh man, Isaac Bruce and Torrey. When those 2 were going, it was like there was 1-2 punches at receiver are so much fun. Like, even though he was near the end when you had Chris Carter with Randy Moss, but then, like you just said, Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, you had Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. It's so fun when you have 2 number 1 receivers. Like, it opens, like, even the NFL now, Devontae, like, that's why I thought the Rams would get to the Super Bowl. Even going into that game, I thought they would find a way with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, you know?
Who was the other guy alongside? I know it's not Russell Wayne, the guy that was with Marvin Harrison.
Reggie Wayne?
Reggie Wayne. I don't know why I thought Russell was like, no way.
Reggie Wayne, and then they had that third dude for a minute where they had 3 1,000-yard receivers.
Yep.
And they had, I think it might have been Dallas Clark, but I think they actually had a third. I can't remember who it was.
And Edgar and James in his prime.
Oh, man, the Colts that offense was fun. The Rams and then the Colts were just a blast. Okay. Nick, you got any more football before we go to hockey?
No. There's so much that we could talk about football. We could do this all night. So
yeah, absolutely.
You're going to see him in the Super Bowl. Go get Rashid Shaheed.
Oh, that's a deep threat. Now he's a little bit older, but it doesn't matter. That guy
He's
can fly.
26.
Is he 26? He's not 20. He's only. Somebody was
That's what I just
28.
said,
I
unless
thought it
don't
was.
know how to read.
No, you're probably right. I was looking at free agents earlier today. I think you're right.
Now I gotta
You know,
look it up.
another guy that'd be interesting. You know, if Debo Samuel doesn't re-sign with the Commanders, I think that would be an interesting. Because
Sheed will be 28 when the season starts.
Yeah, when the season starts.
Debo and May might be a good combo. I know that maybe
yeah.
Good.
Debo Samuel didn't really have a good relationship with Brock Purdy for one reason or another.
I don't know what that was.
But I think him and Drake May could probably link up for a pretty solid couple years.
Ryan, you got about 15, 20 minutes to hit some hockey before we boogie?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so
First of all, who's your team?
yeah.
Well, I mean the Avs, since I'm here. And
Okay, I was
also,
going to ask you, the Avs and Sharks play. Who you rooting for?
well, technically, I'm not rooting for any of them because as a reporter, you got to stay cordial. But may the best team win out of the two.
How long have
I'm
you
a
been
Canes
reporting for
fan,
both
so.
teams?
Not very long because they asked me to help out. I think there's a few choices. They needed help with Utah, Dallas, and San Jose, and I used a random number generator, and it picked San Jose.
You did a random die like that. Is it through
Yeah.
SB Nation or who are you working for? Or is it Hockey
Well,
News?
I still work for SB Nation, but I also work with Hockey News too, so I do both.
Oh,
Love it, man.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
How long have you? Okay, so I know I asked some of this in the beginning. How long have you worked with each? Like, how long have you worked with, like each spot?
Mile High, I've been with for over 2 years, and the Hockey News since October. So
Nice,
a
man.
position opened up, and I went for it.
Nice. Congrats,
Smart,
bro.
man. I like it,
Thanks,
dude.
man.
How you liking it?
It's good. I mean, yeah, it's a new environment. It's different. It's less cutthroat than boxing. That's for sure. You can
Oh, I can only imagine.
get interviews and get people to be human beings for longer than the sound bites. Pretty nice.
What's your favorite interview you've gotten to do so far this season?
Nathan McKinnon.
Oh, there you go.
Nate and
Legit.
I asked him. I don't know why I thought about this. I asked him if he's ever gone back and watched his his draft video to relive the experience. And he told me, no, I didn't like the way that I looked. And I still don't like the way that I look, but it was a lot worse in 2013. That was his response.
That's hilarious.
That's a fun answer. I like that, dude.
Yeah.
Nick, what you got any? I got a few, but if you got any.
No. I mean, it's super awesome, dude. I was up there. I got to see one Avs game when I was up there. It's absolutely beautiful stadium or arena, whatever they call it. I'm just a Canes fan, so unfortunately, every time I see them, we normally lose. So I just don't watch Canes games anymore.
So
Can't really blame you.
It's early in the season. The Avalanche are first in all of hockey right now. Are you feeling pretty confident about them as a title contender?
I mean, right now, they're not playing so hot. I don't really know what the issue is. I know, we're dealing with some injuries with Landeskog, Taze. The top line's kind of been slacking. The depth of the team's been good. Parker Kelly's been doing well. Brock Nelson, even though he's on Team USA, has been one of the top goal scorers in the month of January. But it's the rest of the team that's the problem. And it seems like that they're kind of just like trying not to get hurt before the Olympic break because we're seeing so many guys get hurt. Brad Marchand's hurt. Landeskog got hurt. Leo Carlson's going to miss the Olympics. So you have a lot of guys missing the Olympics. And so I can kind of see why the NHL didn't want NHL players playing in the Olympics, for a while. It's because, well, they were staking our product. Our product was looking like butt for weeks. And that's been we haven't been looking all that hot. So
Yeah.
And it's during the season. It's not like what the NFL flag football thing will be, or the NBA is after, even when they have problems with it, and that's after their season. This one's right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of your season. It's a completely different story. The NBA, the Summer Olympics are after even if they were in the finals, so it's not interrupting their season.
Could the NHL adopt something like international soccer does? Because that's what they do. Like they'll literally just stop in the middle of the season for like a month or a month and a half or whatever, and then go play international games and then come back.
That seems smart.
Yeah, I mean they could do that. I don't know how NHL fans would react. Like, oh wow,
probably poorly because they're wanting to ride hot streaks and stuff like that. And by icing the season for say 30 days, a team like say for example, a Lightning for a few years, had the 2 cup runs. If you cut that right in the middle, maybe the momentum shifts and it goes a different way and everything like that. Plus, it also allows people that maybe get hurt right before it to give a little bit more time to fix it. So
That's
yeah,
true. That would be interesting. I mean, and also like I remember outside of the Olympics, we would still have competitions during the All Star game, whether it was the World Cup of Hockey
yep,
in '04, last year's Four Nations, which I thought was the most overrated tournament.
I
It's
agree. Okay, I'm glad
it's
somebody
four
said it.
countries. Who cares?
Okay, so I agree with that because they also do that in rugby. They have the Four
Cool.
Nations or the Six Nations or whatever it is, and I don't
Yeah.
get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It made sense when you could only get 4 countries to come together, but we could pretty much snap our fingers and have pretty much all the countries ready to go. So I don't understand why that was such big hype. So
Probably because the Kachucks decided to fight everybody, and that's about it. And they
you need to
still
bring back
lost.
bad boy hockey, right? More
Yeah.
fights.
Bring back bad boy hockey, and then you have an injury and you're out into the playoffs. Nice.
Correct. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
Oh, that's great. It's fun to watch fights in person, though, man. It is. But
Yeah.
at the same point, the punishment these guys take compared to NBA, like the fact that they play, they try to play over 80 games, is freaking nuts to me. I'm like, no freaking way. Even 10 years ago, man, I could have done. I couldn't have done that crap. Like
Oh,
that's
Brent Burns hasn't missed a game in like 13 years. The guy's
yeah.
crazy. Do you see his fight with Brendan Montour against
No,
the Kraken a few months ago?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
So
No, I'm
yeah,
gonna
so
check that out.
Montour like took Burns down from by his legs, and then tried to punch him while he was down on the ice, and Burns had grabbed his jersey and pulled it over his head, and so Montour looked like the mummy trying to fight him, and then he punched the ice instead of Burns, and he ended up breaking his hand, and he's been
I
out
see
with
that.
yeah, he needed
Requiring
surgery.
hand surgery. Oh my god.
Got to fight. He had to have hand surgery. The coach was most of it.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
back in the day, I used to go to this what's it called? A smaller league hockey, whatever it is. They used to be called the Roanoke Express in Virginia when I was
I
much younger.
remember that team.
Dude, my dad or stepdad worked for a hotel right next to it, and all the players would stay there. So we would get like special tickets to go and everything. And of course, since he got free tickets, they were nosebleeds. But because it's a random team in the middle of nowhere at the time, you could just walk down and basically go right up on the glass. And seeing those dudes fight, you look at them. I mean, I was a child then. As an adult now, seeing some of those dudes walk up like just on the ice, I'm like, mm-mm. If this dude tried to fight, I would literally just fall to the ice and move on.
Can't blame you on that one. No, I think my brother has a jersey from the Roanoke Express because his now wife, that was one of his gifts for Christmas. I think was a Roanoke Express jersey.
Nice, yeah, dude. I
Yeah,
remember
because
it.
he lived in Virginia for a couple years.
I still remember the goalie's name. His name was Robert Gagnon, and I remember him fighting another goalie, and that was like, oh my god, that can happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we just had a goalie fight recently with Bobrovsky.
Yep, I saw that one. As soon as I hear goalie fight, I'm immediately going to be glued to the television.
Oh yeah, that's
Best goalie fight of all time was Mike Vernon and Patrick Waugh.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Yeah, Waugh
might
was
have already seen
bleeding
it, though.
pretty bad after that fight was over.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Definitely got to watch that.
Ryan, do you think before we boogie in a few minutes, because I'm gonna try to be good about an hour-ish. I could
Yeah.
talk another hour, but I know you had a long day. Do you think the Sharks right now, they're on the cusp? Do you think they're gonna make the playoffs? I know you cover them.
I think
They're
they will
right-
make the
they're right
playoffs,
there.
but they're not going to get very far. And honestly, they have a really solid team. Obviously, Macklin Celebrini is a generational star. Will Smith, Kurashev. Their issue is defense. Defense and goaltending. Askarov is either incredible or he's not very good. And Nedeljkovic, same thing. They can make good saves, but their consistency between the pipes is the problem. But that's okay because look at the Avs when they drafted McKinnon, they drafted Landeskog, they drafted Mikko Rantanen,
Yep.
but their goaltending was the problem. Varlamov was hot and cold. They had Philip Grubauer, and then they got Darcy Kemper they traded for Darcy Kemper from the Coyotes, who battled a bad eye injury all year, and still was able to get them into the playoffs. Got the eye part fixed during the Western Conference Finals. Came back and won the Stanley Cup. And then we decided to go with avenged sevenfold Alexander Georgiev.
You're only 1 point out of the wild card, so it's not even like it's crazy to think that you guys are going to at least get in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I could
and
see
how
it.
many games do we still have left? 30?
Mm,
28? Something like that?
20 depends on the team.
26 or 27, depending who you are.
Okay.
So I think
Some are-
the Avs have
yeah.
played 54 games.
This
But I could be
says
wrong.
52.
50.
Yeah.
So they got 30, but some are up to 55,
Okay.
50, 55. Yeah, so in that 30 to 27 range. If you had to bet right now, do you
Which
think
we
the
know you
Avalanche get
can't.
back? I know you're not a gambling man. You're reporting on the team, so we're definitely not doing that, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Absolutely not. No way. Do you think the Avalanche make the Stanley Cup?
Not right now. No, definitely
so?
not. Not with our power
Why?
play. Our power play is really you need your power play to be better than 29th in the league come playoff time.
Do
I'm
you
just
think it's
saying.
the Wild then?
I don't know about the one. I know. I would say the Canadians are looking pretty strong.
Stars are decent.
The Lightning are pretty strong. The Canes. I just think that the Avalanche are good in spurts. Especially right now. I still think they're like one of the best teams. But with the way the playoff format is,
Yeah.
you're gonna face like the best right off the bat, and so I think that we would probably get eliminated in the second round, like right now, unless if we
Oh,
ma-
wow.
unless if we trade, we make some trades to get a guy who's good on the power play, which we've already done. Puustinen, the guy that we just acquired, that's in the AHL right now. I mean, you need more than that, but he's a really good back checker, especially when you have a 2-on-1 rush. And right now, the Avalanche are leading the league in shorthanded goals allowed, which is not good.
That's not good at all.
That's not
You
good.
don't want to, even for a really great team, that's a big weakness that you can't.
Mhm.
That sways a hockey game so much. A lot of times, and I'm not even that. I would like to watch even more hockey. That's where the game can be won and lost, man.
Yeah, and I've said it before, like even in other games that we won, we weren't terribly good at puck management. But as the season wears on, teams are going to adjust to that.
Yep.
And I think that even with Landeskog and Tays in the lineup, I don't think that would have made a huge difference. I think there has to be some sort of cultural shift. Like we have to realize that we are a human team,
Yep.
and that we've lost 8 or 9 of our last 11 games, even though we had a record start. Like we need to do a little better.
It's you 4-4-2 the last 10, so not very good.
No,
That's why
and
I'm
that
curious if
yeah.
that's why I'm curious if the Mammoth, or I don't think probably not them, but maybe the Stars or Golden Knights actually surprise. Who knows?
The
Stars
Golden Knights are a
third.
pretty good team. Dallas is very good in the power play, but not good at 5-on-5, which is very weird.
Yeah, they're a weird team.
The Red Wings are a very deep team. I think they're
I
gonna
was
make
gonna
a run pretty soon.
I was gonna ask about the Easterns. I was thinking Western. Before
Yeah.
you leave, if you got a minute or two on Eastern, do you think who would you pick? Do you think the Eastern Conference Finals? Do you think it's Red Wings in Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Carolina,
Tampa will be in it.
Pittsburgh,
It would be
Montreal?
interesting. It would be really interesting to see if it's Detroit and Buffalo.
That'd be
That
a
would-
fun matchup.
That would be crazy. That would be a
Right?
fun matchup.
Wow.
That'd be very, very cool. And Detroit's lost their last two. They could take back first in the East. But I mean, there's so many teams. That's such an interesting conference because there's literally, I'm looking at it right now, there's 7 to 8 teams within 7 points. And there's a few of them at 65, 67 points. So they're right there. So it's like a cluster, kind of like the NBA is becoming, where it's like not a big separation between like seeds 3 through 8 in a conference. So.
Yeah.
Ryan, man, this was a blast. I've got a bunch more, but it's about an hour. I know you've had a long day. You got a lot of reporting. Nick, you got any final questions before we boogie in a minute?
Hopefully you're going to come back. That's my only question.
Oh yeah, I'll come back. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
This is fun.
I got
yeah,
another. I'd like to bring you back with Nick and my other buddy Med, because he goes and watches damn. Nick, do you remember the team in South Carolina? They go watch.
The
It's a
Gamecocks?
no. It's not a professional hockey. It's not NHL. It's the one below it. They go watch their hockey team all the time.
I'm going to look
I
it up
should
right
text
now. South Carolina Stingrays?
That might be it. Sounds like something else. I can't remember, but he's a big hockey guy. There's no professional team over where he's at. He's like a few hours from Atlanta. He's like by Hilton Head, South Carolina. So they can watch. I think it might be a Savannah team. I can't remember.
So he probably wants to see the Thrashers come back. I know the NHL has been talking about bringing a team back to Atlanta. I don't know if that's a good idea, but
I agree.
I'm
mean-
not sure if they will.
I think we
I
need
mean, Bettman's talked about it, but then again, this would be the third time they've tried hockey in Atlanta.
I'm
I
just
don't think
pissed
it's
by
worth it.
Arizona lost the Coyotes. That's so stupid. That Glendale.
I'm
Glendale's
honestly not
just.
surprised. I knew they were
I'm
going
not
to go
either.
away in 2009 when all the gambling stuff came out, and
Well,
yeah,
and
Wow.
that city of Glendale had a bunch of. I mean, they were being sticklers with other stuff. Like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of crap with that. That's a long story.
yeah. I mean, that's Arizona politicians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't get it. I feel like having a fourth professional sports franchise has got to be good for your. I know it costs
Apparently
a lot to
not.
build the stadiums, but they had jobbing.com there, and it was newer. I don't understand uh, why you just couldn't keep them there. That was so stupid. When I moved, they were supposed to move to Tempe, Ryan, and it never even
Yeah.
happened.
All right, I think I have to head out, but
Hey
I just
man,
wanted
it
to
was
say thanks.
thanks, man. Love to
No,
have
Thank
you
you're
you,
back
man.
on.
welcome.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
I'll
you for
see you
the time.
guys.
You too,
Thanks,
bud.
man. Nick, before we boogie, here, let's go to this really quick. Now we can do the screen. Let's take 5 minutes, quick Super Bowl thoughts. Because I don't know if I'll have, if I don't, I know I'm having a Pats guy and Med. I don't know how many I've got coming on next week. So in case I don't see you before the Super Bowl, what are your final thoughts on the Super Bowl and anything you've got? The floor is yours. Anything you've got for roll covers at the end?
Oh, that one's super easy. Just follow roll coverage. That's easy and done.
Yeah.
Okay, Super Bowl. Seahawks Patriots. If I had to put money on it, the Seahawks win by more than a touchdown.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, it could be a bad one because if you really want to have the conversation
I'm worried
about
too.
Drake May,
I didn't want to say it in front of him, but I'm a little worried.
no,
too.
you're fine. I'm fine to be like supportive because I think the Patriots are a good team. I just didn't expect them to be in this position. And to be honest, if you go look at, I'm going to pull it up right now on my side. I'm going to go pull up Drake Maye's stats because you know what he did? Like most of his stuff. Oh, I do not want to hear Stephen A. in my ear. Nope.
No, I don't
I'm gonna
listen to
pause
him
that.
anymore. It's been about 4 years, and I just don't do it anymore.
No, I don't. The minute it comes up on ESPN, I immediately mute it.
Yeah.
But okay,
I
so
can't do it
obviously
anymore.
he had some good starts. You know, 1 touchdown, 1 pick against Vegas. But then you talk about he beat a bad Miami team, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He beat a bad Carolina team, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He beat a really bad at that time Saints team, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He beat a bad Cleveland team, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. But when you talk about most of
you
the
can't
good
control who you
teams,
play. It sucks.
but the problem is he shells the bad teams and doesn't do well against the good teams. You talk about the Buffalo games, no touchdowns, 1 pick. You talk about the Cincinnati game, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He had 1 touchdown, no pick against the Jets. Like his best game was again a rematch against the Jets where he had 5 touchdowns, no picks. So I don't think Drake May's the riser that everybody feels like he is. I feel like it's the Vrabel system. And I don't mean that like Vrabel has a special system that other people don't. I think it's just a simple adage that everybody has always had. Draft offensive line and make sure the offensive line is good and get a good defensive line. And that's it. You can figure out the rest. Obviously, having Christian Gonzalez as an all-pro and all that stuff helps them out on the secondary. But I mean, you go to talk about these, playoff games. Like he said, the Denver game was bad. Without that Stidham turnover, they lose that game. Without Stroud throwing 5 picks? Or was it 4 picks?
Not sure. It was a lot.
Yeah, or his fumbles, whatever it was. All of those issues. And then you talk about the Chargers game. The Chargers game, he had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and they barely beat the Chargers. So it's not even like any of these things where he's put his foot down and, and done something great. He beat a bad Texans team that just kept giving them opportunities and left the defense on an island. That's, to be honest, my criticism of my Panthers. Like, Bryce Young is not the elevator that I want him to be. The defense can do so much, but if the offense isn't staying on the field, it doesn't help. How many more opportunities did Drake May get because Stroud had 4 picks and how many, what's it called? How many fumbles? Like he had 5 total turnovers in that game. I mean, he and where did he score? Drake May scored in the first. And I'm trying to see where the second one, and he scored the second one in the second. And then this was coming out of the third quarter. Fumble by the Patriots, punt, touchdown, punt, game over. So it's not even like he had 1 touchdown in the second half. The entire team. So this idea that Drake May is the elevator, I just don't think it is. I feel like this is a Darnold legacy game. If Darnold can win the Super Bowl, he immediately deletes the Jets, essentially. So I feel like that's the motivation. And now that we hear that the Seahawks are selling the team, I feel like this is extra motivation for the Seattle Seahawks, for Mike McDonald and all that other stuff. They're going to want to come into a new ownership with a Super Bowl and the whole bit. I don't care what anybody says. The Seattle defense is number one. It's not even close.
Well, the Texans were pretty freaking good.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong.
That's left. New England's D is pretty good. I get what you're saying where he's beat up the bad teams, but to make a Super Bowl in your second season, he's benefiting from the things around him.
But that's why we don't – quarterback wins aren't a stat, though. That's exactly why quarterback wins aren't a stat.
But it's not like he's got an amazing roster around him on offense.
He doesn't, but at the same time, he hasn't beaten good teams. He has those teams.
That's not true. Failed. He's in the playoffs. They just beat. I mean, yeah.
No, they didn't beat anything. Denver beat themselves. Bo Nix was hurt. The Texans game was thrown away by Stroud, and the Chargers going to charge.
May didn't lose that game. That was very easy against that D in Denver to go make some mistakes, some turnovers, and he didn't do it.
Okay, but he also didn't have any touchdowns. So he didn't win anything. His team beat them, and Denver failed. This was not – it's kind of like when people go to have the argument of like the Panthers. The Panthers have games like the 30-0 win against the Falcons. If you go back and actually watch the game, Bryce Young didn't win that game. Bryce Young did everything he could to lose that game. It's the same thing with this one. He doesn't make it to the Super Bowl if Bo Nix is hurt. He doesn't make it to the Super Bowl if Stroud doesn't have his worst playoff performance of his career.
However, they still, during the season, they still beat Buffalo. They did lose
look at that game where he had one touchdown, no picks.
So he didn't lose the game.
But he didn't win the game, though. That's the difference.
But
if you're saying that he won it, he didn't.
But even Josh Allen this year had several games where they rode the run offense. As talented as Josh Allen is, they rode the pass defense, which was actually first in the NFL, and they rode James Cook and a conservative game plan because they didn't really have the receivers. And Josh Allen didn't win them. It's not always the quarterback winning the game. Sometimes it's not losing the game. Vrabel coaches that way, and he knows.
If that's the argument, Josh Allen had 3 touchdowns, no picks in that game. Drake May had 1 touchdown or 0 touchdowns, 1 pick.
I think there's a lot of games this year where Josh Allen, because I had him, he'd go from like 4 or 5 TDs to like 1 or 0.
I don't disagree, but this was not that game. He had 3 touchdowns, no picks, and James Cook had 2. It wasn't a game where they were beating them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Drake May ran in 2.
I think the last few games have impressed me because even though I know he lost that Buffalo game and he wasn't spectacular in that game, I love the way he played against Baltimore, New York, Miami down the stretch. And then this postseason, what they've needed out of May and 86 yards is not impressive. But that weather, I don't know who was going to throw over even 200 in that weather. Like you could put prime Aaron Rodgers out there. I don't know if 200 yards was to be had against. And here's what's also nuts, Nick. You put 2 elite defenses in that horrendous of weather, like don't lose the game. You know,
but that's why
I agree, but don't lose it. And he didn't lose it. So I was impressed with that.
I agree he didn't lose it, but I won't sign up for this because I'll say it right now ahead of the Super Bowl. Drake May will not get anywhere close. Whatever the over-under total is for next year, the minute it's available, I'm going to take the under because they're going to overvalue what Drake May did, and I'm going to immediately cash that. The minute, because they're going to lose like 3-4 games right off rip, and I'm going to cash that check week 6.
They'll be in the middle. They'll be ish where we thought they'd be this season, but it depends on the moves they make. If they go get a number 1 receiver and he's actually a 1 and they actually can keep a Stephon Diggs or they get development, that offense will improve. But there'll be regression to the mean in other areas, and I want to see what Travion Henderson does, and there'll be other injuries because it's the NFL. It always happens. But I'm curious. Do you think what if Drake May wins this Super Bowl?
Then it'll be his best game as a professional, period.
Well, he's had, rookie season, he had moments. He had one of the worst supporting casts. And this year, he's had some great games, yes, against bad teams and bad defenses. This is a great test for a second-year dude who may not be ready yet. This is it, man. Showtime. against Seattle. He cannot. I don't know if there's a scenario like you said, unless Sam Darnold tosses the game, where he can have one TD, less than 200 yards, and they win. Unless Travion's going off, I just don't see it. Unless Darnold either stinks up the joint or has a bunch of picks. There's just no other scenario.
It's going to be one of those things, a game where you watch it and you see who punts first and who punts the most. Because if you end up giving up the opportunity to score, you're not going to get it back. Again, especially against the Seahawks defense. The number one draft miss for me was Nick Emenwari. I didn't trust anybody coming out of that draft.
So bad for my Packers. And he's been a beast, dude.
He's been stellar, but just really quick to caveat what I talked about for next year, why I'm going to take the under. These are some of the games that the New England Patriots are going to have to play. Now, obviously, we don't know the order, but they have already confirmed the 2026 matchups. So, obviously, we have the division games, so I'm not going to mention that. Everybody knows
Bills,
Jets, Dolphins. Okay, at home, they're going to have to play the Denver Broncos, the Raiders, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Steelers. Then away, they're going to have to play the Bears, the Lions, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Seahawks, and the Jaguars. There is no way they win 12 games.
Well, the defense is pretty good. We'll find out. I think probably not. I'd probably go 10 or 11. But if they win single digits, I'd be surprised. This guy's for real.
Hey, they
and he's got a great
10.
coach.
10 is still not good enough to win that division. Even with the loss of Sean McDermott and everything like that. Obviously, the Jets are going to jet. Halfley's not going to do anything for the Dolphins. I think there's an opportunity for them to actually trade Tua. So your whole division could be shifted up. But I won't sign on Drake May yet. A lot of people are trying to get me to go back on my original take. I'm not a Drake May fan coming out of college. I did not like him as a first or even a second-year guy. I felt like he could do it, but he needed to do it in the right place. I love the Patriots fit. I love the Vrabel fit and all that other stuff.
Me too.
But I just can't. If he goes out there and wins the Super Bowl, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 2 touchdowns, no picks, goes out there and gives me a game where I can trust him, maybe I'll have a different argument. But now he's beaten bad teams, and that's it.
I'm going to counter. You can only play who you play. He's an ascending QB. They still don't have the supporting cast around him. I want to see what they do with their money and their draft capital. And 100%. I want to see what he does over the next couple of years, because second-year quarterbacks, I know we see them coming to be pretty good, and he was. I mean, a lot of it was against bad competition. And next year, I think his stats could go down even with better receivers around him. But I see some raw talent here that's special, not just the baseball. And I'm curious what they're going to be able to make this guy with the supporting cast over the next 2 to 3 seasons. I think it could be scary because their defense is actually.
Oh, apparently it's just me now, guys. Give it a really quickly. Izac just dropped real quick. So it should. Oh, there he is. There we go.
One button. It's a gaming mouse. I forget.
Oh.
You leave me there. It's fine. Okay, so let's preview this matchup really quick, and then we're going to boogie because I'm trying to be good about an hour and a half. I'm trying to be consistent. I was trying to keep an hour, but I could talk this all night. But, all right, previewing the matchup. We got Super Bowl 60. 14-3 Seahawks, 14-3 Patriots. The Seahawks have actually played one. Hold on. Nobody wants that crap.
By the way, I do appreciate Drake May. He is only 23. He's 2 years younger than Bo Nix. He's 3 years less than Purdy and Lawrence. I mean, he's 4 years younger than Herbert.
He's super young.
Love, and he's in the catbird seat. And if Vrabel continues to be the owner, or essentially the owner of the team, obviously no Kraft is, but ruling the day-to-day, Vrabel runs it with an iron fist. So as long as he continues to do that, I'm going to continue to support them. I just don't think Drake May's the reason why they're winning. It's just the Patriots getting the luck of the draw. And no offense, the strength of schedule is something that matters.
Yeah.
People can say all they want about, you got to beat the guy in front of you and everything. But if you gave me the easiest schedule in the league, of course it's easier. Josh Allen is dreamy, but I don't
his wife is very cute.
I 100% on your side, but I just don't.
Just here
again, I feel like this is going to be that moment where Mike McDonald looks back and goes, I coached the best game of my career. I feel like this is going to be a Seattle rout. I could see a scenario where the Seattle wins by like 20 plus points, where they shell them.
But the Patriots D might be good enough to keep them in this game.
Their
defense is actually, what are you doing? Wrong. I was on ESPN still. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yahoo is the one where I like the stat breakdown. Okay, so I know this is raw stats. I like EPA better. Some of that stuff I like because raw stats. You're right. You beat a bad team, you look good. The Packers defense was like fourth, fifth, or sixth, and then Micah went down, and they
Yep.
slid all the way into double digits. It was freaking nuts. So you got to look at tendencies too. But the Patriots are fourth in points allowed. They only give up 18.8. Seahawks are first at 17.2. In yards, they're almost dead even. The Seahawks are actually sixth in yards. The Patriots are eighth. There's only a not even 10-yard difference. The pass defense for the Seahawks is 10th, surprisingly. And this isn't in Seattle, where they get an extra juice, Nick. You know that when that home field is going, that even KC, that might be 12th man, might be the home field in the NFL. That might be the home field in all of professional sports in North America. It might be legit. When it's going, I don't know if there's another one. I think Green Bay's special, but I don't think we even compare. I don't know if Arrowhead compares.
Do you
That's
think,
one of them.
though, that because Seattle's already played at Levi Stadium 3 times this year, it's going to benefit them?
Maybe,
it's basically
but
a West Coast game.
Not quite like Seattle, though, because there'll be a lots of Pats fans. But yes, yeah, it will. So you got the Pats D is ninth in pass D. They're actually just a crack, like less than a yard better. So almost dead even. The rush D, Seahawks are third. The Pats are only sixth. So on defense, there's almost no difference except for Seattle gets more pressure, more interceptions. But it's almost even. Then you go to the Pats offense. They're second. Seahawks are third. Now, I can look at tendencies, and you're right about who you play. I agree Seattle is a better team on paper. They are. They should win this game by 10 plus. I just really like Vrabel. There's something about him I think that could keep him in this game. I'm going to predict a one-score game. But the Pats offense is actually better than the Seahawks in every metric, including time of possession and third down efficiency. So Seattle's got the edge on D slightly. Seattle's got the edge on – New England's got the edge on offense. I agree with you. I think New England or I think Seattle wins. I think they win by 7. I think New England gets it down to 7 and then Seattle closes. I'm going to go 31-24.
Oh, I'm going to go.
What's your score?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I got to do math now in my head. I'm going to guess it 31-14. Like, I don't think it's going to be close. I think we're genuinely going to go. This is one of the weakest teams that we've seen get to a Super Bowl. Because even when you talk about what they did it against the Jets. They did it against the Dolphins and stuff like that. And yes, did the Seahawks eat on certain teams like Minnesota and stuff like that? But they also had to play the Rams twice. They had to play Houston. They had to play the 49ers. Like, they have not walked through it. I definitely think there's thing got a little bit easier because obviously by the time they get later in their season, Atlanta's blown up. The Colts have completely collapsed. Minnesota fell apart. So I understand some of that, but they didn't beat those guys. They destroyed them. The only games that were close were the ones that they lost. Every other one, they are winning handedly. And again, this is the team that beat Houston 27-19 in the middle of the season with a good CJ Stroud, with a good everything.
So Stroud did beat himself, but were you impressed with how he doesn't make those mistakes when you just need good QB play? Because he didn't make any mistakes
Drake can make all the throws and can make the right decisions. It's can he beat arguably the best defense in the league? And to be honest, the best defense we've seen in a minute. And I'm talking about because the difference, Texans, like I said earlier, it's not giving them the opportunity to get extra swipes at it. Darnold can hand the ball off, can distribute the ball off, and Seattle's not going to give you extra possessions. That's the difference. Drake May is going to give Seattle extra bites at the apple if they can't score.
You know what sucks? Because I think this Texans, if they hadn't had a CJ Stroud that completely let them down, we'd be talking about that Texans D being legendary if they just would have had adequate offense and been in the Super Bowl. That Texans D was one of the most lethal defenses I've seen in a long, long freaking time. And they played that way on the road and at home. Seattle at home, that D is special. But that Texans D, they just were let down by some of the worst quarterback play you've seen in a postseason in a long time.
Basically,
like CJ Stroud's got to be better. Like, legit, I'm starting to wonder if we're on the clock about not extending him. Like, you cannot let down. I know you've got – here's the thing. this is why I like May, but I want to see what more he's got. But Stroud, he's got all these excuses on offense around him. But now, clearly, when it falls apart, he's not even not a riser. He's a sinker. Like, the annoying thing about Love is he can rise and freaking sink. It's really annoying. But
You
Stroud
say that, but
just
his
sinks.
first game was what? 4 touchdowns, no pick, and a perfect passer rating. So he
Who?
has it in him.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
He has it in him. This was his game. Because even the one last year, I'm looking at it right now, 2 games, he had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, sacked 11 times. What have the Texans been struggling with? Offensive line. You know what they're going to go address this year?
And receiver health.
Offensive line.
Yeah, and the receiver health. They need both those second round. Well, I think one of them might have been a third. I think they were both seconds. Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. They need those two guys to pan because Nico Collins just doesn't stay healthy, and Christian Kirk can have moments, but you don't want him as your number one. And I don't know if you ever told you this, but I actually saw him play when I worked at Saguaro High School in Arizona.
That's so cool.
Christian Kirk was there. I actually saw him play as a oh God, it was a long time ago. Sophomore, junior.
Wow.
I think it was junior. That high school is legit. I was talking to a guy on Twitter. Saguaro High School still. They're one division below the top, but when I was there for 4 years. I think they won the title 3 of them.
Wow. Yeah, I used to work for IMG, who basically wins the high school title every year.
That's cool. But no, Stroud's got to have better O-line play. He does. Things have got to be better, but you cannot completely destroy your team's chances with 4 picks. That's that game that Darnold is even this season had a few
100%.
of those. And Darnold can't do that against a good defense. This New England team is good enough. If Stroud makes mistakes, they can beat him. But I agree with you. I think that this is coming home to Seattle, I think.
Yeah, if it goes to New England, we're talking about, Sam Darnold is not the guy. The Seahawks didn't make the right decision, or it's that you don't have a good, number 2 running back, because we got to remember Charbonnet, I think, is out.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker's starting. So you're going to run Kenneth Walker and George Halani, who I like George Halani, but he's not a really good wide receiver too. And to be honest, they're really dynamic receiver who they just drafted, who again, I wish my team would have gone and got. Torrey Horton. Oh my God.
I knew who you were talking about.
Torrey Horton,
my dad drafted so many rookies this year, and that guy, if they figure out that potential, it's like when I saw a glimpse of with Matthew Golden in the playoff game. I didn't see it all year, and then the playoffs, he starts busting out. I'm like, where was this all season? That's why you got to give guys more than 1 year. It's not everybody's going to be Justin Jefferson, man. Just not.
Not just that, but when you look at their depth chart, honestly, like I got it pulled up right now. Like
I was surprised he wasn't getting time instead of Cooper Kupp.
No, Cooper Kupp's still really good, and he wanted to get his licks against the Rams, so you got to keep him ready. Rashid Shaheed's been absolutely dynamic. To be honest, and not just that, if you look at their tight ends, AJ Barner's good. Elijah Arroyo is better.
I had Arroyo. I think I traded him, but Barner was good.
And you interviewed William and Mary coach. They have Charles Cross, who went to William and Mary. Gray Zabel was another great pick. Bradford, Lucas. So they're going to add some stuff in the free agency and in the draft. So the Seahawks are only going to be better. I don't see a scenario where they take a massive step back no matter what. Because no offense, Darnold's on a very team-friendly deal.
If the Lions just could have made the playoffs.
This should have been a Texans Seahawks Super Bowl, and this would have been the best Super Bowl we've seen in a while.
Or Broncos with a healthy Bo Nix would have been a fun one.
I don't believe as much as I love Bo Nix, I don't think he's
a weird player, isn't he? You see really good, and then you see he's like a Tim Tebow plus, where sometimes he does very little through 3 quarters, nothing like Tim Tebow. And you see the best out of him when things break down under pressure, which is not a bad trait, but you want to see more for the first 3 quarters of the game.
I agree. And at this point, we're about to see what happens. I'm trying to see if I can pull up their salary cap to see what they have right now.
They got money because Russell Wilson's money comes off.
Yeah, that'll come off. So then they're going to have a bunch. You got Darnold's only making $36 million against the cap. So that's basically nothing. For quarterbacks, that is. I mean, Leonard Williams is making 30, but after that, it drops off pretty big. JSN is still under contract, so you don't need to worry about that. To be honest, the crazy thing, if they were to go out and get somebody, I thought about this last night, actually. I was going to tweet it, but I was like, no, it's a little bit too fringe. The Seahawks should go out and pay Breece Hall.
No, I actually think that's a really good move because you got Charbonnet. You could have a 3-headed monster support Darnold. The Packers had this for a minute. Having 3 running backs is seriously like it's a plus, man. You need multiple. You need multiple receivers too. That's why like my team does have options, and Emmanuel Wilson like showed a little bit, but they tried to draft this kid in Marshawn Lloyd. He just hasn't been healthy, even though he has potential. He's too injury prone. They get Brees Hall on a friendly deal with a Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet and what's the other guy's name? Maloney?
George Halani.
Halani, I was close. But that would be, I mean, you could almost afford to lose one, but having three, that's
You
special.
would trade Kenneth Walker at that point, or you would trade Charbonnet.
I would trade Charbonnet and run Walker and Hall, even though their styles overlap a little. I think having a 1-2 punch, but having Gibbs and Montgomery is what has made the Lions special, because even when one misses time, even though Gibbs ascended this year, Montgomery still got touches in that offense.
Oh, there we go. They're already talking about Kenneth Walker's on the trade block, so it makes sense.
I wouldn't do that. He's been really good for this team. But you never know. They could.
Oh, Walker's in the final year of his rookie deal, set to become an unrestricted free agent.
That's right. Okay.
So let him walk and go get Brees Hall, and then you're done.
They could actually. That'd be an interesting style replacement. And if Brees Hall's locked in on a good roster, I think we'd see some really special stuff out of him.
I'm gonna go make a trade.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Right? When I drafted Madden, I love doing that in Madden in my NBA. I'm like, I should be a GM. It's so much fun.
I went with that the other day. Shout out to Draft Professor. I was sitting down doing a draft with him. If you haven't done one, Isaac, I'll send you his info. You need to do it. You can do the Fanatic draft. It's the most fun way to do it. But I literally said on his podcast, I was like, dude, if I was hired as the Panthers GM, the fans would burn my house down, because I would take so many great offensive linemen that I would never need to worry about anything. I could make Miles Sanders be 1,000-yard rusher.
You know, the Giants are an interesting team to me. Remember when they won their Super Bowls? They had solid offensive line play, but what they got was good QB play, enough out of the receivers, but they won with a lethal pass rush. Yep. The Giants did the last 2 Super Bowls they won. I honestly, actually,
that's what they're going to do now.
All four, and they're trying to replicate it now. And if Harbaugh, if he can keep Dart and Scatterbo healthy, that NFC East is fairly open. I don't believe in Washington or Dallas. So
I agree with
Philly's
you.
Up and down. But a pass rush, if you win in both trenches, it makes the game so much easier on every other level. It's not like it's the most important, because quarterback is the most important. If you don't have the right guy, everything else has got to be perfect. But look at what Sam Darnold's doing. Just playing good football, can rise to the occasion when you need him to. You just need him to not make mistakes. And you've got a hell of an infrastructure around him with damn good coaching. And that's what's working. Seattle's line had been terrible since their last Super Bowl. Now they're finally starting to figure it out.
Correct. But we saw that it works with the Eagles. What did they do in a Super Bowl? They rushed. They didn't even rush. They sent 4 and got 60% pressure rate, sending 4. Not sending 5 or 6, drop back into coverage and force a quarterback to beat you. And that's where I feel like more teams need to do that. And that's building up the trenches. Same thing. If you can't run the ball, you can't do anything. You can't get a ball deep. You can't get Kyle Williams open or any of those. If you're talking about the Patriots, you need to build the offensive defensive line first, rush 4, and then see what happens. Put everybody else in coverage. I understand people hate that. They want to rush 5 and 6, but good quarterbacks will eat you alive. You force them to make the best possible play every single play. And if they mess up once, you make them pay.
Dude, this has been an absolute blast. Any
other? Go sub to, where is it on this side? Go sub to this one right here. Fun Football.
I finally got Twitter back. I figured it out late. The pod, we would have had more people, but thank you guys. This was fun. This is the first one on Twitter in like a month because it was hacked. So almost 200 people. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Before we go, Nick, give me one wild free agency prediction. I know you'll be on before, but early prediction. What's one player, not coach, let's stay off the coaches. What's one player you think will either get traded or signed somewhere a little unexpected, or one you really just like, the Brees Hall to Seattle, you just want to see it happen? Or A.J. Brown or Mike Evans to New England, something you might have already said.
To be honest, if we're talking about like realistic ones, Brees Hall to the Seattle would be really awesome, but I'm guessing he's going to want to go someplace that's going to want to run the ball a lot more. And I think if Darnold wins a Super Bowl, they're going to turn him loose and just say, let's see what happens, especially because the defense is you're pretty much not going to lose anybody from the defense. I think they might lose Dexter Lawrence. I think he's on there. Unless I'm thinking he's on a different team. Either way.
You're talking Seahawks, right?
Yeah, I think he's still on there. I thought he was their sack leader, unless I'm thinking of something else.
Hold on.
But anyways.
Rashid Shaheed. They got to figure that out. Rashad Shaheed. Woolen.
Tariq
Kenneth
Woolen's
Walker.
amazing.
Rick Woolen. Yeah, the corner. Yeah. Tariq. Yeah. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, they do have DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm sorry.
They've got their edge rusher too.
Yeah,
but
so they're
really,
gonna have
it's
to go out and get a
Woolen,
pass
Walker,
rusher.
and Shaheed.
If
Kobe
we're talking
Bryant.
about my Panthers, the free agency move I want them to make is to go out and sign Nakobe Dean. I think that helps out my team. I think anybody who gets your Packers, Quay Walker, is going to be up. I don't care what anybody has. Quay Walker's a really good linebacker. He's just not good as a Packer. If you're going to talk
Packers,
about,
I'm hoping they can figure out the Quay Walker thing. I really am.
My most controversial take, though, is Tua's not going to be a Dolphin. And I think he could end up in a place like Dallas, because Dallas is going to want to get rid of Dak and start working with that thing. I think there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that are currently starters that are not going to be. So I'd say no Tua in Miami, no Kyler in Arizona. I'm trying to think of who else.
Kyler's out, man. And honestly, if he gets another starting job, I'm going to be surprised because I think he's lost a lot of trust. He might get another shot. I think Malik Willis, it depends on where he lands. Like,
I don't
you got to land in the. I like the movement, but the problem is I think Malik Willis is just such a picture perfect fit for LaFleur's system that you see it shine. And there is talent there, but it is what he wants. You know, he wants movement. Love doesn't move like that. Love's a pocket passer, for being honest. He's a trick shot pocket passer. That's what he is. He doesn't move. He moves less than almost any other starting quarterback in the NFL. But Malik Willis, it depends on where he lands, because if he lands in a system that thrives on a good running game and mobility from the QB and good coaching, he'll be fine, actually. I just don't think he's gonna. I think he'll land somewhere that's trash, like the Jets. And what's up, Jason? So I was trying to send you the link. I couldn't find
He could also end up as a Steeler. We're not sure what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm looking at the quarterback from last year.
Jalen Warren? That'd be DK Metcalf. That wouldn't be the worst.
To be honest, the one that they should do is go get Mac Jones. Go put him on a 2-year deal and make him be a Steeler. I think that would work out really well for them. But to be honest, the one that I'm going to say is my most controversial take of free agency. I think there's going to be at least 4 quarterbacks that are current starters that will not be starters.
Who do you got?
We got Tua. We got Kyler. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel was benched for Shedeur. So I'm not going to count that one. Yeah, I'm not going to count that one.
Start, so.
I do think that the Vikings are going to take a quarterback. So that means JJ McCarthy is gone.
What if Malik Willis went to Minnesota and JJ
No, if anything, I could see Mac Jones going to Minnesota.
I think Mac Jones should do what you said and go to Pittsburgh if he retires.
If you go into the KOC system, he's already.
That's why I think Malik Willis should go to Minnesota, because that's like the best backup job in the NFL. Because if JJ sucks or gets hurt, you've got one of the best supporting casts around you, receiver and tight end wise.
Yeah.
And with KOC, like, can you imagine they get the right quarterback in Minnesota? That team could be really good. They've got a defense too.
But they're also $50 million under the cap.
True.
Or over the cap, I mean, however you want to say it. And then obviously we know Geno Smith is no longer the starter for the Raiders. I'm trying to think of who the fourth one would be. To be honest, I can't. Maybe Michael Penix gets benched again. I don't know. They're cutting Kirk Cousins, so maybe they go look at another quarterback. I could see Atlanta making the move to go get Carson Beck later in the draft. So I think that one could be interesting. The one that I threw out is I think Russell Wilson will start at least one game next year.
Oh, very interesting.
And to be honest, I don't think the Dolphins draft an early quarterback.
I don't think they do either, but that's good stuff, man. I like it. I'm hoping, here's my predictions. I'm hoping New England gets a receiver. I'm hoping my team finds a way to keep Quay, but if they can draft a linebacker, it would suck because I like the Quay and Edger and Cooper combo. It was fun to watch.
Same here.
Same with Micah, too. That was like a hell of a D if you can keep them all healthy. That D showed you it's got some potential. And I think Gannon actually could be really good for our defense.
I told you that's who you were getting.
You're right, and I actually don't think it's going to be bad. I just don't know what they're going to do with Rashawn Gary. That seems like he's going to be a cap casualty, but if Van Ness is ready, it might be a workout. We'll see. I don't know. I don't believe in my team anymore keeping LaFleur. I'm over it. I think, like, I'm going to have to see. Listen, I got Super Bowl aspirations, and we've been a 7 seed 3 years in a row with one playoff win. I know that's more than most teams could ask for, but I've been thinking Super Bowl for especially this season. And I don't see it happening with this guy, but we'll see. That's my team though. In the NFL, I think the best thing that could happen for New England is they get a receiver. Denver is the other team that needs to go spend money on offense. They have the cap now.
I agree.
What's their Nick? What's their cap? They got 40 million coming off from Russ.
I'll pull it up right
What's
now.
the rest?
I just had it pulled up. Here we go. We are looking at the Broncos have 28 million, 23 available, like working money, but that's obviously before any changes to the cap. Do they still have what's his name still on here?
Malik Willis to the Dolphins is interesting. I just don't know how much I like that because, like, I don't know. They've got a speedy running back. They do have Waddle. Tyreek Hill's gone. It's not terrible. They've got some support at least. I just don't love Miami, but I don't know. It depends on who did Miami get their coach or no?
Yeah, Jeff Halfley.
Oh, that's right. Good luck.
Yeah, that's why I said like I think
It's not going to
that's
work
gonna
out for
be-
anybody. I don't see it. He's a decent DC, good DC. I don't think
agree.
he's a good head coach. He wasn't in college.
But to be honest, your Packers could be in an interesting situation next year. I'll get this really quick from you, and then I'll let you jet.
Yeah, what you got?
Do you think that LaFleur survives? Because I had a tinfoil hat theory that
Now or
there's only
next year?
next year survives the whole year.
If they don't win a playoff game, he's out.
Oh, I don't think he'll make it to the playoffs. That's why I'm thinking.
I don't know. Like, it depends on when Parsons comes back. They still have so much freaking talent on that roster. If they don't make the playoffs, yeah, he's out. I know that's just extended him, but
I would agree.
I mean,
but
it would
if
have
that's
to be a
the case,
situation where Love misses most of the year, and or Jacobs, and there's a built-in, or Parsons doesn't play, where there's just so many injury excuses.
Yeah.
But it'd have. To
I
be
don't think
something
that's
like
going to
that.
be an excuse because with
I don't
the
either.
coaches that are going to be available next year, the only two places in my
Tomlin.
mind that Mike Tomlin would take of the coaching opportunities that I think will be available will be the Bucks and the Packers. And if you end up getting Tomlin, that would be a fantastic franchise for him.
God, dude, Tomlin, I just picture it in Green Bay, and it makes sense. And here's the deal, Nick. The reason why we're not going to let Love go, I just want to see two things. I want to see Love with a different coach, or Love with some upgraded weapons. If I get
I think you're going
both,
to get a new quarterback before you see that. But yeah,
probably, but maybe not because we just locked into him for 3 more years. So that's what I'm hoping for because they've already paid the guy, and I don't think they're not in a situation where they're looking to get rid of him unless they just suck like terribly.
you guys have negative cap space though.
Yeah, we're gonna let Gary go and move some stuff around. You know that.
You're right. Yeah, it looks like you guys would have some negative cap.
We're gonna shuffle some crap. Rasheed
Depending
Walker
on-
is probably gonna be gone.
If you traded Jordan Love post June 1st, you would only have $16 million in dead cap. Just something to think about. You hear me, Isaac?
Yeah, I do.
I think it'd be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. I'm really excited to dive into it. I want to do a whole free agency special this year. We didn't do one last year. I love the draft, but I think we should like the end of Feb because I've got time. I'm getting divorced. Basically, I'm should be there any minute. It's such a fun thing to break down the caps. It'd be cool if we had them on the screen and we like talk about each team, maybe like in 1 or 2 specials before free agency, because I'll probably be in Arizona when free agency actually happens. So to do a preview and then a recap and then some draft stuff, that'll be a lot of fun. So that's what you guys can look forward to. What I'll be having coming out for you guys. I made a video today about Nick. Let me ask you this last question, last one for the night. It's rage bait. I understand. Ed Reed is not available. Who is the hardest hitter? Yeah, the Packers are not trading Jordan Love. I agree. Ed Reed's not available. Who is the hardest hitter in NFL history? Defensively.
In my opinion, it looks like Aaron Donald. I wouldn't want to be.
Oh, I didn't even list him. I thought Chuck Cecil. I said Steve Atwater. I threw a Lawrence Taylor and a Ray Lewis in there. Ronnie Lott, Brian Dawkins.
Well, here you can also, if you don't remember this, I actually put a challenge out there.
Dawkins is one of them. Absolutely.
I love Dawkins, but
oh my gosh,
I actually said that I would take a direct full hit from Ray Lewis if he ever came on the podcast, and I would take that hit before I took one from Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is hilariously huge. Nope. And yeah, Ed Reed's arguably my favorite. if I could put one player on any team, it'd be Ed Reed. I put a lot of value in the secondary though. So
I love safeties, man. Polamalu is another one that needs to be on there. Remember Bob Sanders? He just didn't last long enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ones. Even now, my Panthers with Trevon Moehrig.
I'm with you on a lot.
Have you seen the clips of the rookie that my Panthers just got?
I had him in my dynasty. I like Moehrig. He was a fun player. He did pretty good in IDP.
Go watch the hits from Lathan Ransom, the kid from Ohio State that the Panthers got. He always lays the wood. There is not a time where he doesn't try to rip somebody's head off. And I love it so much. So he's going to be one of the ones that one day we might have that conversation with.
That'd be fun. We should do, current one. This would be fun to have these little debates. But so Nick, you're gonna keep hitting Hornet stuff. They had an awesome game last night.
Yep.
Cooper Flag throws up 49 and loses in the most points ever in NBA history by a teenager. And that's gonna stand for a hot minute. I don't think we'll see 50. It'll be a minute before we see 50 from a teenager. That's wild. And I know the talent. People don't see this because I know it's more offensive, but the offensive skill sets in the NBA right now are absurd. If you don't think it's out there, these guys like in Cooper Flag, what's really wild is that isn't even the best part of his game. If he gets better and better at that, he's gonna be so freaking good. Dallas so lucked into this player after losing Luka. That was the ultimate lucky thing in the world to make the dumbest trade.
I feel like that was set up for them.
It had to. It is so rigged. They were like, if we don't do this, Mavs fans are gonna call for that team to go to Vegas. Like, we have to.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Vegas is going to get a team soon. But if you actually go back and watch the Cooper Flag highlights, to be honest, a lot of them, he had some circus shots. Don't get me wrong, some crazy ones fading towards the basket and all. But a lot of times, he literally just ran into the paint and just went. Little hook shot and it was in. So he wasn't even doing anything crazy. So the fact that a 19-year-old was able to get away with that for so long tells me that he's got a great floor. And I just decided not to put it out last night when I was watching and streaming the game. But Cooper Flag is going to make, as long as he can keep the longevity up, he could give LeBron James a run for his money. Like long term.
Like I can see that.
He started.
What I like is that he's got a defensive game and he's already a good passer. He's got the other elements. Like those need to be refined as well because you always need to improve on different levels. But if you're going to make it into your 40s like LeBron and he's still, I mean, I can see decline. But the fact that he's still a viable NBA starter at 41, if anybody's going to be able to have a game last that long, they have to not only care about their body, but they have to have the all-around game. And that's why I like Victor Wembanyama, but that's why he's special. Oh my gosh. But that's why I like the Cooper Flag. Like I like him as a player a lot. But also, quick last thing, because I'm having a blast. And it's Friday night. So if you're still here with us, 200 people, I hope you're watching.
Hell yeah.
Other prediction for you. Neither of these two teams make next year's Super Bowl.
Oh, the Seahawks Patriots?
Neither.
Oh, yeah, that's a gimme.
Don't get me wrong. I like Seattle. Love the defense. But Philly just proved how hard it is to come back, and KC has even declined. I do think the AFC is going to have a new team next year. I think it could be a Denver. Could be a Chargers if they make the right moves. I think it'll be an AFC. One of those three. I don't think it's going to be a Buffalo, Baltimore, KC that next year. No. Buffalo has got too many problems, and I got to believe in Josh Allen in the playoffs finally. He's got to do it. Same with Lamar. He got a new coach, and KC's got a bunch of problems, and Mahomes overcoming injury, and possibly Kelsey retiring. And if not, they got to find a way to replace him. So,
but, I agree. I wouldn't expect them to return. Like I said, I don't even think the Patriots will be a major playoff contender next year.
I don't think so either. I really don't. I really doubt it. I think that I could see them missing the playoffs. I could see one of 100%. Buffalo, Baltimore again missing the playoffs. I am concerned about my team. I think they could make it, but we got to be worried about Minnesota getting good QB play, Chicago getting better, and you've got Detroit if they can figure out a way to retool. But I think Detroit's kind of going to continue to slide down. I don't know if it happened with Harbaugh the first run with San Fran. When you got a coach like that, you tend to peak quick, and then that's kind of how the NFL is, though. It's hard to stay on top. So
it's also time to start looking for another quarterback. As much as I love Goff, he might not be able to do it forever. And I get he's like 31 or 32. He's not crazy old, but he's still starting to get there. So I think there could be some sort of move there. And I'm not even talking about them taking like a big quarterback. I think they could do something crazy, like taking a Drew Aller who's hurt, who could just spend a year behind Goff and see what happens, and then see what happens the following year. So I don't feel like they're necessarily poised to go out and make some big splash, but at the same time, I'm not going to count out Jahmyr Gibbs and Laporta and Amon-Ra and the defense at that point. So I'm hesitant about them for sure. I just feel like your division got a lot better, and they got passed by the Bears already.
I think it's going to be Bears, Packers, and everybody else in the division. We'll see if my team can keep up. I think Detroit and Minnesota have got some issues, and there's a good chance both miss the playoffs again. But Minnesota comes down to QB play. Detroit comes down to Goff and defense, honestly. And
the Bears are going to trade DJ Moore, so
they are. I
just
agree.
not to your team.
They need to go get a receiver, Jason. That better be a priority.
No. The Packers need to stop drafting receivers and just need to pay. Period.
Yes, pay one. Stop being cheap at receiver. If you want to get the best out of your quarterback, give him real receivers, and then let's find out. That's where I'm at.
Go pay Pickens.
I would, dude.
You can't afford it, but
if they did that and just drafted, I'd be over the moon. They could let Rasheed Walker, Rashawn Gary, and Quay Walker. I would be really sad about Quay Walker, but they could let Dubs, Rasheed Walker, and Gary go. And I would be and if they found a way to re-sign Watson on the cheap and bring in Pickens, I'd be over the moon.
You know what? I have the thing up right here.
He's
Let me see if I can
minutes.
actually free up enough money to make it happen. Because you'd have to do post 6-1 trades, which means you'd have to do them after the draft. And after free agent no, you'd have to do them before. You'd have to do them right now. So these would have to be 6-1 cuts. So if you cut or trade, you'd have to trade them pre 6-1. Oh, it's still a $17 million dead money. You'd only get $10 million in cap. So that's for Rashawn Gary.
Damn, man.
So that's right there. So if you trade him pre 6-1, that's what you would get. Who was the other one we were talking about? I think it was just not signing. Yeah, Rasheed and Quay, you don't get anything special because they're already free agencies.
Packers free agents 2026. So we've got Wilson, the running back. We got Dubs, Walker, Malik. That's pretty much it.
Got a lot, to be honest with you, of guys that you're going to be missing, and you don't have the cap to make any big move. You guys are going to have to draft it, and I don't even know at this point. Like, if you wanted to keep Quay Walker, you're not going to give him the franchise tender. That's $28 million. The transition tag's $23.
There's Med. He's Nerdkidia now. That's his new show.
Oh yeah, I love Nerd. I can't wait for it, dude.
That's going to be great. You're right, but you know what? I kind of just want to go all in. I'm over this crap with receiver. Even though they've got a lot of needs.
Go make the trade for AJ Brown.
I would actually, even though he's a goober, I would actually do it because they could sign and trade Watson or sign and trade Dubs, or they could offload Gary, which would be risky to trade him to Philly, but they could flip money back. So you're not taking a lot on. That actually is the kind of move I'd want to make. Flip a player in a second and see if you can snag Brown. That'd be perfect because then you can get the receiver without having to pay him a ton extra on top of your cap. Let some players go and then figure it out. That's exactly what I think they should do. Gary in like a third or Gary in a second for Brown should get it done too.
I agree, and especially because they're going to need it. The
Philly
Eagles
gets another pass rusher, so there you go.
I want the Eagles defense so bad, but.
I don't want to pay Gary what he's getting paid anyway, so I think they're going to let him go. He's just not number one. He's not even close to number one pass.
I just don't think you're going to pay Quay because the estimated value is 15.
I know. I'm so
Quay and Rasheed or Gary are both.
He nailed it. And you know what? The number one receiver is not McCole Hardman. So stop. They need to stop being cute so that Med can actually make that joke because I'm so over it. But thanks for watching, buddy. But all right, I'm gonna wrap this under 2 hours. Nick, this was a blast. I had so much fun.
That's fine, Isaac. Whenever you're ready to smarten up and we start doing this every night, I'm ready. You'll have to start doing what I do and watch cricket or something like that where there's no football and everything going on.
Probably hitting basketball soon, I think, honestly.
Basketball is so much fun to watch.
I know it is.
It's a much better watching experience than football.
It is because it's fast paced, and I get the games on Peacock. And if I could get NBA, I might think about getting NBA.
I'll send you a website you can watch it for free.
Text me. We're not going to share that over the air. It didn't happen.
No, but it does stream in a certain direction. Oh God. Okay, it's me again. Sorry, guys. I'm definitely not the host. That's Isaac. That's his stuff over there. Gee,
I was like,
he keeps leaving me, man.
it's a one click. It's so stupid. Anyways, everybody, I am Isaac with Fun Football Podcast. Thank you for joining the show. I'm sorry I've been out for a little bit because of hackers. I was still on YouTube, but I'll definitely be back next Friday. I've got a Pats guy coming on. Might do some other stuff too. I've got a show next Tuesday. Gonna do some spaces on X. I'll release all that stuff on all the socials for you guys. I've got some fun stuff coming up before the Super Bowl. May take a tiny little break after, but we've got some free agency, some draft coverage. Might be do some more NBA. Honestly, I could talk more UFC. So might make this a multi-sport podcast, but
We should
I had a
live
blast.
stream during the UFC event then.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow? That's actually a really good idea.
Maybe not this one if you're not free, but if we could always plan, there's always cards. And again, I'm still learning about UFC. I'm a big fan of the grapplers, like the Nurmagomedovs and
Ooh.
all that stuff.
That's an interesting one.
Again,
Here's
you can't afford it.
Yeah, he's going to cost a lot of money. Thank you. The Packers just got to figure this out. You can't go into next year with this receiving core already depleted. Heck no, don't do it. It'd be a mistake. Savion might be fun, and Golden might end up being good. It's not enough. It's just not. If you want to really contend, even if Love was awesome, you would need better receivers. And
What's your draft pick?
I think. You know what? I don't even know.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. I have the mock draft thing.
Probably 24, 25.
I can't even find. There we go. Green Bay. Let's see.
22.
Oh,
we don't have a first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you guys can only draft a second. That means you guys are going to have to hit on a weapon. Right. I'm waiting for the draft to actually catch up to where you guys are at. In my mock draft right now, you guys should take. Oh my God, it's all Elijah Surratt might fall to you, the wide receiver from Indiana.
And I just don't see that being enough. So they're gonna have to figure this out. So,
go get Ted Hurst.
The DJ, if the Bears would actually be open to trading with us, I would do it in a heartbeat. But I don't think it's gonna happen. So
DJ Moore's gonna end up in a better place.
Yeah, I hope so. Nick, keep up the awesome work. We are rebooting our network. Med will be joining us with Nerdcadia soon. He'll be on my show next week. I'm very excited. Yeah, we have a mid to late second rounder. I hope the Packers make a move at receiver, but I'm hoping this for a great Super Bowl. Enjoy the Pro Bowl games, everybody. Cool UFC and boxing tomorrow night. But I'm Isaac with Fun Football Pod. I'll be back next Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll have some shorts in the meantime. Go follow the socials. Go check out roll coverage everywhere as well. We're both on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I'm going to throw the link in next show. Facebook, and everybody, you guys rock. Thank you so much. See you again soon.
I'm just going to hold this here.
We're just going to hold